Every day on There's No Taste Like Home, Chef Gino DiCampo will take 3 family cooks and the recipes that have been passed down through their families from generation to generation, out of the home and into a professional kitchen.
Let the battle commence.
Together, they'll serve up their treasured dishes to paying customers, and the winning dish, judged by Gino, will be added to the restaurant's menu for a month.
This is absolutely cooked to perfection.
To prove
That there is no taste like home.
on today's show, one of Cornwall's most famous dishes steeped in history.
They would never, ever take a pasty on the boat. The miners had the pasties down the mine. The fishermen, they had a bit of heavy cake.
A unique fish recipe born out of dockside trading last century.
The boats that brought all the citrus fruit from the Mediterranean landed in Plymouth, and suddenly out of the blue came turbot with orange with new potatoes and asparagus.
And a hearty meal first cooked in homesteads by the pioneers of 19th century America.
You knew, absolutely, with every finality, nothing to eat until the next meal.
Hi, I'm Gino DiCampo and welcome to There's No Taste Like Home. I'm on a culinary quest looking for home cooks, and today I'm proving that right here in Land's End in Cornwall. Cornwall has been home to people ever since the last ice age, and that's over 20,000 years ago. Stunning scenery and stunning produce. Some of the best fish is landed right here in this county. Well, I can't wait to see what's cooking today. As always, I have 3 home cooks desperate to show off their beloved family recipes. Well, to help them to do that, I brought them to this restaurant where very soon they're gonna cook their dishes for paying diners. What the people of Cornwall will think about their dishes? Will they be able to prove that there is no taste like home? Well, let's go in and find out.
Janet Ethorne is baking her great-granny Catherine's Cornish pasty, accompanied by a fresh green salad. Robin Turner is cooking his father Jack's turbot in orange sauce, served with Cornish asparagus and new potatoes. And Joanne Schofield is making great-grandmother Mary's baked beans, served with baking powder biscuits.
Well, guys, welcome to a professional kitchen. How do you feel?
Great.
It's good?
Super, yeah.
Excellent.
Nice kitchen.
We got a lot of preparation to do, okay? Lunchtime is gonna come very, very quickly. Paying diners are gonna come in, they're gonna try your dish. So what I want you to do is to go to your station and start to do the preparation. Okay?
Right, yeah.
All right, come on, everybody to the station. Let's get cooking.
Let's meet our first cook and find out how she makes her dish at home. 65-year-old Janet Ethorne lives in Rossmayon in Cornwall with her husband Laurel. Today, she'll be rustling up a local speciality, Great-Granny Catherine's Cornish pasty. Janet was just 4 years old when first introduced to this Cornish tradition by her mother, Selina.
Now I'm now going to start making the pastry. Now, first of all, I have a nice bit of flour, about 450 grams. Is that it? Okay. Cornish pasties are the staple diet of Cornish people. And a good woman, a good Cornish woman will make a good pasty. Now, this is short crust pastry. Now, I like to make mine with lard and some margarine. There we are, about 6 ounces, that's lovely. And I'm going to cut it up a bit. All right. Now, I put a drop in the middle, and then I mix it in. Always use my hands. My granny used to say to me, mind those precious hands. I used to say, why do you say that, Granny? She used to say, because they're very precious, because without your hands, you can't do very much. So there you are, my handsome. That's that all done. Now I'm going to put this in the fridge. Here we are. Now, I'm a bit particular about what beef I use, and I'd like to use a nice little bit of skirt. This is what my granny used, and her mother would have used too. When you make a pasty, you mustn't have great big chunks in it. Wash me hands now. Put out the thing to roll the pastry on, and we start to roll the pastry to make the pasty. When you've got your pastry, because it's nice and pliable, see, it's all nice and pliable, lightly flour the rolling pin, then you roll. Pressure, even pressure on both sides. so that it comes out like that. There we are. Now I'm trimming around now because I want the shape, all right? So I want the shape of the pasty. Now, the way that my mother and Granny always taught me was put the rolling pin down, take half of it back so that you've got half the pasty there to fill. So we're going to start off with the turnip. Now, you can see I'm chipping it very, very fine. Typical, proper Cornish pasty is turnip, onion, potato, and beef, and put in that order. Very lightly dust it now with some more seasoning. Move that out of the way a minute. Bit more pepper, lovely. A daub of butter. Here we are, see. I'm a maid of Cornwall, made in Cornwall. Can't have better than that, can you? Now, there we are. Now I'm going to close the gnome, all right? So now I crimp with my finger and my thumb, all right? So bend it over, lift, bend over, lift, bend over, lift it, bend it, lift it, bend it, lift it, bend it. There we are. Now that, my handsome, is a Cornish pasty. Homemade. There we are. Now that's gone on the sheath now. And I'm going to put a little slit in the top to let the steam out. So there we are. I'm going to leave it in there now for about an hour. A good Cornish woman or Cornish man will never give away the end of his pasty because all the juices have run down and they're in that corner. And come to the last few bites, oh, you'll have the gravy running off your chin. Absolutely handsome. Right, let's have a look at the pasty then. Whoa. Oh, here we are. Oh, the Cornish ones is definitely best. And if they're homemade, is even better. Oh, got the gravy running out of it. Look. Oh, my God, it's looking handsome.
That's Janet's great-granny Catherine's Cornish pasty, accompanied by a fresh green salad. A traditional Cornish recipe that goes way back in history.
So, Janet, tell me, where did it all start?
Well, as far as I can trace back, it's the 1860s with my great-grandmother, Catharine Maddern Pollard, and her husband, Joseph. And they had a big boat called the Mayflower. And my grandmother would help to repair the nets and things like that. And she would make a pasty when they came home, but they would never, ever take a pasty on the boat.
Really?
And no, it's superstitious. The miners had the pasties down the mine. The fishermen, they had a bit of heavy cake to go with them, not a pasty. My great-grandmother passed the recipe down to my grandmother, who's called Selina. And my granny used to make the pasties on a scrubbed table. They never had stainless steel worktops or anything like that then. They had a sink and a scrubbed table. And she used to say, here you are, have a bit of pastry while I'm making this up. And I had a bit of pastry and I would be playing around while she made the pasty. But the smells, oh, you've never smelt nothing like it when you smell a pasty. You've got to have a bite.
I will try. I promise you that I'm going to try.
Well, I'm hoping so, Gino. When you come to Cornwall,
you have to have it.
You have to have a pasty.
Jan, I wanted to ask you something. What would it mean to you, to your family, to your mom, your grandmother, your great-grandmother, to win today and have this beautiful dish on a restaurant menu? How are you going to feel?
Well, I would feel very proud, not only for me and my family, but for the people of Cornwall, because I'm making this pasty now on behalf of all Cornish women in the county.
Yes.
And this is our stand to say, this is how it's done, this is what it is, this is how you eat it.
Oh.
Mwah.
It's the start of preparation, and Janet's not leaving anything to chance.
I sat at my kitchen table last night and I picked up my notebook, and here it is here, and I wrote down what I thought I had to do. I had to plan it like a military operation. Oh, I haven't got nothing like that at home. God. I shall have a bit of fun with that in a minute, I think.
Welcome back to There's No Taste Like Home, where today I'm in Cornwall. Of course, famous for his pirates, arr, and smugglers. And more than anything else, beautiful produce. Today I'm putting home-cooked food to the test because I got 3 home cooks working in this professional kitchen ready to serve for this beautiful restaurant. Before the break, I met our first cook. But let's find out who is next to delight our diners.
Robin Turner is a 54-year-old lecturer from Cornwall with a real enthusiasm for fish. So today he's cooking turbot with an orange sauce, served with Cornish asparagus and new potatoes. This dish dates from the late 18th century. It was created by the Turner family as they fished the coastal waters of Britain.
Home cooking to me is very important. It's therapeutic, and with things such as good local produce, it can be extremely pleasurable because it doesn't take long to assemble a really, really good plate of food from really good produce. Right, next up we have asparagus. Really, really good. What you must be careful of is the slight woody piece at the bottom. This is a Cornish turbot. I believe that my family are the only ones that do cook turbot with orange. I must be honest, I don't know of anybody else that does. My father used to relish a turbot, and the thought of eating one was just something that I think would fill him with joy. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut the fillet away from the bone. And what you need for this is a very good, sharp knife. And here comes a rather lovely, large lump of meat coming away from the bone. We're now going to portion this up. What we're going to do is we're going to take the zest from the orange now, which is basically a piece of decoration. Well, I'm going to put the orange segments on the hot griddle. Basically what it's going to do, it's going to caramelise the orange. I've also got a little blowtorch that I'm going to assist them along with. The other side is being done on the griddle. Now we're ready to go, and in we go. Once the pan is hot, I add the turbot fillets skinned down into the pan. I then turn the turbot, with the skin side has browned, and squeeze both halves of the orange's juices into the pan.
That's Robin's Father Jack's turbot in orange sauce, served with Cornish asparagus and new potatoes. Gino's keen to find out how this mix of turbot and orange first came into being.
So Robin, tell me where this dish started.
My ancestors were dealing in fish on the quayside in Plymouth, and my great-great-grandfather, Robert, I believe he created the dish in honour of his father, who was John. He combined it with asparagus and local potatoes, and also then, because the boats that brought all the citrus fruit from the Mediterranean landed in Plymouth to import into England, he had his hands on limes, lemons, oranges, etc., etc. So decided to, being a flamboyant character that he was, decided to play around with it a bit, I think, and suddenly out of the blue came turbot with orange with new potatoes and asparagus. Well, my father introduced me to the dish, first of all, when I was about 7 years old. My dad was a very clever man, very, very clever with his hands. He could create things. He smoked a lot of fish, cured a lot of fish, prepared a lot of fish, made things out of fish that lots of people can't do. He could skin and curl a whiting in 2 seconds. He was absolutely brilliant at those sort of things. So fish preparation and knife work he was very clever at.
Your father is no longer with us, right?
No.
What do you think he would say if he was here with you today in the kitchen?
He would probably be highly critical. He would probably pick on the potatoes, tell me that I've done that wrong. He would probably tell me that I've overcooked the asparagus, and he would probably also tell me that the fish wasn't quite right and he could have done better.
So, have you actually ever managed to cook for him before he left us?
Yes, I did actually. For his 50th wedding anniversary, we had turbot and orange.
Oh, wow.
So,
come on, tell me, what did he say?
Absolutely fantastic, wanted more.
What would it mean to you? To your dad, to your granddad, to your family, to win today's competition and have this dish on our, restaurant menu?
Well, I think they would be, again, pride is one thing that comes to the mind of, a family dish when it suddenly appears in front of the general public, which I'm not sure whether it has or not before. People may have invented this dish apart from my family, I don't know. But to actually see the family dish appear on a menu will be absolutely fantastic.
Robin starts his preparation with the potatoes, but these aren't just any old spuds.
What I'm doing is I'm just doing the most difficult job, actually, of the lot, which is preparing the new potatoes ready for the pot. And Cornish new potatoes deserve some special treatment. I'm just rubbing and not scrubbing, and basically keeping the skins as much as possible on the potato because basically it's all part of the flavour. And what I'm going to do after that is I'm going to cut them to size, and then we're going to clean the asparagus ready for action and fillet the turbot.
Another great dish full of history. Today's diners are in for a treat. But we still have one more cook hoping their dish has what it takes to be on this restaurant menu for 1 month. So let's meet them.
57-year-old Joanne Schofield is originally from Canada but moved to the UK in 1989. She lives in the village of Mannequin with husband John and daughter Delia. Joanne brought with her a recipe that reminds her of home, great-grandmother Mary's baked beans. This dish originated from Joanne's Dutch great-grandmother in America before travelling to Canada and finally ending up in Cornwall.
Here's how I make my great-grandmother Mary's Canadian baked beans with pork belly. You take 3 onions, and you don't have to be precious about how you chop them up. Like that. In go the onions. Put the cover on so they sweat. Leave them for a couple of minutes, and we'll go over and prepare the pork belly and the bacon, and we'll put them into the casserole. This is locally sourced smoked back bacon. Nice big hunks are good because they do, with slow cooking, dissolve a bit more. Onions are doing very nicely. You take the bacon and you just put it into the pot. Obviously, in the old days, baked beans were associated with cowboys, but they were a staple diet in everybody's meal. But they would never use beef baked beans. They would use pork. So either it would be bacon or pork belly, but usually not both. I have chosen to put both in my dish because I like a lot of the fat that goes into the dish and makes it very, very rich. Next is the sauce. So to start with, we have light brown sugar, blackstrap molasses, and a lot of people have no idea what that is. And when you explain it to them, the English think it's like treacle. It is similar to that because it's black, sticky, and thick and sweet. But blackstrap molasses has more of a bitter taste to it. Next ingredient is dry mustard. This gives it a bite. Tomato puree, 4 teaspoons full. And the last ingredient is 3 cans of tomatoes. Right, these are haricot beans. I've used the ones that are dried in a bag, about 500 grams, and I pre-soaked them. What you're going to do now is just put it in the oven and walk away. It stays in the oven for 6 hours. We're also going to make baking powder biscuits. Okay, this is plain flour, about 15 grams of baking powder, so it's quite a lot. What you do is sift it down. This puts air into the biscuits, so it makes them lighter. Next bit is the introduction of butter. This has to be chilled because this is, in a way, just like making pastry. You pick it up and you take your thumbs, get the butter between your fingers, and you work it. At this point, we introduce the milk. And again, like a pastry, you put it in a bit at a time, steady little stream. And what you do is you work it. There you are, you've got a nice dough. Roll it out, a little bit more than 1/4 inch thick. I'm going to use this size cookie cutter, but my granny would have used a glass. Okay, and you take your biscuits, giving them a little bit of room because obviously they'll expand. They go into quite a hot oven for 12 to 15 minutes. And now it's time to serve up.
So that's Joanne's great-grandmother Mary's baked beans served with baking powder biscuits. Time to learn more about this transatlantic dish.
So Joanne, tell me, where did the dish start?
The dish, baked beans, started with our family, with my great-grandmother Mary, who emigrated from Holland with her husband John Oscar, being my great-grandfather, and emigrated to Idaho and did homesteading on the prairies in the United States. They had 8 children, of which my granny, Maude, was one. My great-grandmother was quite a renowned cook, known for her cooking, big Dutch woman, very solid, good stock. They retired to Alberta, where I was born, We were brought up in a culture where there was no snacking between meals, none. What was on the table was what you ate. And if you didn't eat it, there was no big deal about it, just okay, but you knew absolutely with every finality nothing to eat until the next meal. Of course, we were very active children in those days, skating, tobogganing, riding our bikes in the parks. We were hungry. So my granny did this amazing thing. She made mashed potatoes. She made a little volcano, little mound with a hole in the top, and stuck the baked beans and said, now there's a volcano. If you don't eat it, it'll erupt. So I went, all right, better eat it then. She was pretty formidable, my grandmother. So when I left home, Calgary, I moved to Toronto. I went into the theatre and the film business. I didn't have any money, so I couldn't eat in restaurants. I couldn't do takeout. I couldn't buy convenience foods. So I called home and said, Mum, do you remember that recipe that you did, or that Granny, that Maude did? So that's how subsequently we started to cook, not exactly on the knee of our mother, but through necessity when we left home.
Now, tell me, what would it mean to you and your family to win in today's competition and have this dish that has been so long, over 150 years in your family, all of a sudden seen on a restaurant menu?
My immediate family are fairly blasé about it, to be frank, okay. However, I think my mother, my grandmother, and my great-grandmother would be really proud to think that their humble dish, humble, sustaining, inexpensive dish, has come into this very nice restaurant with a beautiful sea view, with probably some very discerning guests eating it. So I think they would be very proud, and it makes me proud to think that that journey has ended up here.
Joanne is off to a great start creating the rich tomato sauce that is the base of the recipe. But last night, disaster almost struck as she forgot to prepare a key ingredient.
I went to bed early thinking, I got to get up at 4:45 this morning. And just as you're falling asleep, you go that, and I forgot my beans. So I was up till midnight, soaking my beans and cooking them. Yeah.
And Janet is well aware of the scrutiny that her Cornish pasties will be under in their home county of Cornwall.
Before today, I think the most I've cooked is about 12 or 13, yeah. Every Cornish woman is looking at these pasties now. So if I don't get it right, I ain't going to hold my head up, I can tell you that much.
Robin has time concerns, as his turbot will be cooked to order for each diner, demanding precision planning.
I want to get on with the preparation. I want to make sure that everything's the right size, shape and description to go into the pot and cook, because fresh fish is a very, very important thing that you have to have everything in the right place, because it's going to take a matter of moments to complete and get to the plate.
So that completes today's menu. 3 great cooks, very passionate about their food. I'm sure they're going to make their family really, really proud. But you know what? Lunchtime is soon to become, so finger crossed and let's get on with it. Welcome back to There's No Taste Like Home, where today I'm in Cornwall. In a few hours, this beautiful restaurant will be filled with paying customers, all eager to try some good home-cooked food. But would my amateur cooks be able to deliver in a professional kitchen? Let's remind ourselves what's on the menu today.
Janet Ethorne is baking her great-granny Catherine's Cornish pasty with a fresh green salad. A dish sure to be under scrutiny today.
Cornish pasties are the staple diet of Cornish people, and a good woman, a good Cornish woman, will make a good pasty.
Robin Turner is cooking his father Jack's turbot in orange sauce, a recipe that originated out of the quayside tradition of bartering exotic ingredients.
My father used to relish a turbot, and the thought of eating one was just something that I think would fill him with joy.
And Joanne Schofield is making great-grandmother Mary's baked beans, served with baking powder biscuits. This hearty dish was a staple of austere North American homesteads.
Obviously, in the old days, baked beans were associated with cowboys, but they would use bacon or pork belly. I have chosen to put both in my dish because I like a lot of the fat that goes into the dish and makes it very, very rich.
Lunchtime is almost here, and the waiting staff are putting the final touches to the restaurant to welcome the diners. Back in the kitchen, it's a hive of activity as our 3 home cooks prepare enough food to serve at least 20 people each. So, how are they coping?
20 pasties is a lot to cook, but yeah, going to go for it. Cornish maid, used to cooking, so, you know, I've been telling myself it's only just an extension of the family that I got to cook for. Pretend he's got some more coming for dinner, that's all, like, you know.
So
now,
what
look
you
at
done
that.
here?
I put a hole in the middle to let the steam come out.
Okay.
All right, now, feel it, all right?
That's beautiful. I have
Isn't
to
that
say,
lovely?
this looks absolutely amazing.
Now I'm going to put egg wash on that.
Yeah, but listen,
now this,
you
you've got to go in the oven right now because...
You have
Yes?
less than an hour before lunchtime. Are you going to be ready?
My man, if you disappear, I will get on with them.
Fine.
Thank you. Lovely.
So, Robin, what's happening here?
Right, what I've done is I've filleted the turbot,
How long is it going to take you to cook?
approximately 2 minutes.
2 minutes? 2 minutes on each side or like 1 minute?
Approximately 2 minutes.
So this is one of these fishes that you really don't want to overcook. You just job done.
You want to have the creaminess of the turbot, the oil that's just under the skin. The white fish, it's got a beautiful little oil layer just under there.
Oh, I see.
And when you get that coming through the flesh when it's just cooked, it's absolutely succulent, soft, and melts in the mouth.
How many times have you done this dish?
Fair few.
A few times. John, what's happening here?
What's happening? I'm cutting the chives for my garnish for the baked beans.
Oh, very nice.
And then I've made my salad dressing, and then last minute I'm doing my baking powder biscuits. Very old cowboy tradition.
So you got the dressing already prepared?
I've got it prepared,
Okay.
yes. It's simple oil and vinegar dressing with garlic in it. And
Some
lemon
garlic,
juice.
a bit of olive oil, a bit of lemon
Yeah,
juice.
extra
You got
virgin, yeah.
Your chive.
My chives right from my garden, Gino.
Oh, beautiful, look at that. They're absolutely
Nice. And I'm
beautiful.
going to put some of these lovely chive flowers.
Now, chive flowers, I like them because I
Lovely.
eat them. Okay,
I know.
I always
know.
say as a tip, whenever you garnish a dish, if I cannot eat it, I don't want to see on the dish. But this one, they are
Lovely.
absolutely beautiful
They are
to
so
eat.
good. And when you get them sort of at this stage, they pop in your mouth like popcorn, don't
Oh
they?
yes, they really, really
There you go,
pretty.
pop.
Really, really pretty.
Nice little surprise. So they're gonna go. They're gonna go on the garnish on the salad,
Okay.
and then I'll be serving the baked beans with my baking powder biscuits, hopefully hot out of the oven.
Fantastic. So
And,
you got everything under control for lunch, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Well,
You're
as
not
I
gonna
say,
let...
this dish, you put it in, you walk away, and just casually do the rest.
I'm walking away. I'm walking away.
Okay.
The morning has flown by. Already it's time for lunch, and a queue of hungry diners is ready and waiting to try the 3 historical dishes. Time is up for the cooks, as whether they're ready or not, this restaurant is open for business.
All right, service is going to happen in about half an hour time, okay? So it's very important that I see the final dish before it goes out to paying customers. So what I want you to do, I'm going to give you 15 minutes, okay? And I want you to serve me a dish for me to try and see what it looks like before lunchtime, okay? So you got 15 minutes to prepare a dish. Call me up, I'll come and taste it, we see what it looks like, and then we get on with lunchtime.
Okay.
All right? So back to the station, you got 15 minutes starting now.
By the end of lunch service, Gino will award one dish the honour of being on this restaurant's menu for a month. His decision will look at 3 main criteria: cost of ingredients, preparation time in the kitchen, and the reaction of the diners. It's Gino's job to ensure that every dish that leaves the kitchen is perfect, so each must pass his strict taste test. First up today is Janet with her great-granny Catharine's Cornish pasty, accompanied by a fresh green salad.
I don't think there is an elegant way to eat this dish, but I'll try my best. Wow. Okay. Wow. Potato are perfectly cooked inside. It works really well. Sweet, then you got the meat coming through. It's such a simple dish that when you put it together, just like this, it works. And the meat, oh, absolutely beautiful.
Next, Gino will taste Robin's Father Jack's turbot in orange sauce, served with Cornish asparagus and new potatoes.
I'm really looking forward. Okay, the turbot, what I'm looking for is to be beautiful and moisture in the middle, with a little bit of the orange sauce. Oh, wow. Well, let me tell you, first of all, the orange sauce works really well with the turbot. I like turbot because it's a quite firm, fleshy dish, all right? And I think if you overcook it, it's gonna be quite tough. But cooked like this, it's a little bit like scallops, the texture of scallops, nice and tender, moisture inside. Really, really a good dish. But I think presentation-wise, I can give Robin one or few tips, which is gonna really lift this dish up. So, Robin, you okay?
Yeah, good.
Come here, my friend. The way we're gonna present is very simple. I'm using exactly the same components that you use it, but we're gonna do a little bit different, okay? Asparagus, well done the way you cook them, nice and al dente. Put them in the middle, okay?
Yeah.
So make sure when you put them, they all like that, okay?
Yep.
Very simply, what I want you to do is to lift your fish, you put them on the asparagus like that,
Yep.
yeah? Then this one, okay, put it underneath.
Okay, got it.
Don't put it on top for me,
Okay.
okay? Then you got a little bit of the zest. Don't put too much.
No, no.
Then pick up your potato. Don't serve too many potatoes.
No, no.
Okay? Choose one side where you put them on. Then just before you serve them, give them a good clean around.
Yeah.
Okay? Then you have the orange sauce.
Yeah.
Sauce goes on top. All around the dish. Restaurant quality.
Brilliant.
What do you think?
Spot on, buddy.
Yeah?
And finally, Gino tastes Joanne's great-grandmother Mary's baked beans, served with baking powder biscuits.
Let's get on with it. Okay, so first of all, is the baked beans. I like the texture. They're not too mushy, which is nice. Sweetness comes through. The pork belly, nice and tender on the fork. Oh. Really breaks in your mouth. And you know what? I can see why cowboys, they've been living on these beans for so long. Yay, I would say.
Satisfied with the dishes, Gino allows ordering to begin.
Cornish pasty, obviously, that's lovely. That's going to come first in my book.
I'm going to go for the baked beans and the pork belly, please.
I'd love the turbot, thank you very much.
The service is going to start in about 2 minutes' time, okay? So whenever I shout your dish, it's very important for me to understand and know that you got it.
Right.
So when I shout the dish, just answer me back, yes, chef, or yes, Gino, whatever you want.
Yeah.
But shout back at me and tell me how much time do you need to prepare the specific dish that I asked.
Yes.
Because remember, I'm going to have to coordinate all your dishes to go to one table, so I need to know your timing.
Right.
Okay? Okay, let the battle commence. Okay, guys, stay with me. I need 1 pork, 2 fish, 1 pasty.
Yes, chef.
Okay, I need 1 more fish.
Yeah. Yes, chef.
Sorry?
Got it, chef.
So you got 3 in total. How long?
First 2, 4 minutes.
Steady with the pasty, eh? Don't do anything with the pasty now. Don't do anything with the beans and pork.
Robin's turbot has to be cooked to order, so whilst his service starts at fever pitch, Janet and Joanne have to wait patiently to serve their meals, so that all the food can arrive at the table simultaneously.
I need 2 more fish, so 6 in total. I need 7 fish in total.
With the turbot nearly cooked, the girls can get into the swing of it.
Can I have 4 pork in total?
4?
4.
Yes, chef.
And can I have 3 pasty?
Yes, chef. Chow. Wow, wow, wait.
2 pasty
Yes, chef.
and 1 pork. Now.
Yes, chef. Coming up, chef.
Robin,
Yeah.
the girls are kicking your butts.
Let's just say that I quite like that.
Finally, all 3 cooks have plated up dishes that Gino is happy to serve to the paying customers.
I've got the pasty. It's really, really good. It's like proper Cornish pasties, crimped on the side and everything.
It looks delicious. We're very fortunate to get our first choice.
With their first batch of dishes gratefully received, back in the kitchen, spirits are unusually high.
To my surprise, it was my wife. Ooh, to Lamona.
Can we please stop singing and get on with cooking?
Go on, you misery.
Can we get on with cooking? With the pasty?
I'm happy, I'm delighted.
Head chef Gino has his work cut out to keep this lunchtime service on track. And with all the singing, Joanne can't even hear herself think.
Pork?
Sorry, beans?
Yes, pork. Can I call it pork?
Yeah, all right, Gino. Only this one.
I need one more pasty and I need one more pork.
1 minute, chef.
Give me one pork quickly.
Yes, coming up, chef.
Robin, I really need these two fishes now. You told me 30 seconds, and I think half an hour is gone by.
Right now, chef.
I've never cooked like this before in my life.
Well, you two are not singing anymore. What's happening?
Oh,
is it too hot now?
No, it's not.
Is it too hot?
Come on, you want me to sing? I'll sing.
Is it too hot now? Is it?
Summertime and the living is easy. Fish are jumping
and the cotton is hard.
I need two fishes.
Oh,
your daddy's rich.
I wish I never asked. I wish I never asked. Can I have two fishes?
Hush, little baby, where's your plate?
Oh,
you cry. Ooh.
So it's service with a song, but will the diners notice the added zest in their food?
I've never had it with dressing before, but I must say it's a good addition to the pasta. It works, you know.
I've ordered the Canadian baked beans with pork belly, and I like pork belly, but I couldn't imagine the beans and the belly together, but it's absolutely delicious, and the biscuit just makes it.
You have to eat your pasta with your hand because that's the way it was designed, that's the way it was made, and that's the proper Cornish way of eating it. Hold it by the crust and just eat all the filling. The pastry is really nice, and it's got loads of seasoning in it, so you can actually taste all the meat and the veggies in it as well. It's done really well.
I ordered the turbot, absolutely delicious. Perfect with a Cornish pint. Couldn't be better.
I need one here and two here, so three in total.
What about that one?
Don't worry about the other one. Don't go too far. Let's do one table at a time.
We're okay.
Who do you think you are now? A professional chef? Just take it easy, one fish at a time, please.
I'm not changing my day job on it.
No, please don't. Whatever you do, don't. But you know what? You're doing an amazing job. I know the other one is stressful. Girls, you as well. Very good job. What are you doing here? This is my pass.
Terribly sorry, my man.
I've never been abused so much in my own kitchen.
And you
like
love
this
it.
woman here.
And you love it. Whoa.
Okay, so we are halfway through, but service is not finished yet. Join me after the break because I'm gonna have to make the decision of which of these dishes they're going to be on this restaurant menu for 1 month. Wish me luck. 2 more fishes, 1 pasty, 1 pork.
Chef Gino DiCampo is on a mission to prove there's no taste like home.
Oh, absolutely beautiful.
He's found 3 home cooks with 3 historic family recipes. Together, they've taken over a restaurant at Land's End in Cornwall. It's a full house, and as a result, the orders are coming through thick and fast.
Come on.
Yes, chef.
Our 3 home cooks have found it to be a tough challenge.
Thank you.
Service is nearly over, and the cooks are all keen for Gino to pick their dish to feature on this restaurant's menu for a month.
Okay, guys, come on. We have the last order in, so push it for me.
1 pork, chef, 3 to come.
Last pasty, chef.
This one goes table number 5. 2 pasty, 1 fish.
1 pork, chef. 1 serving left, chef.
Okay, guys, can you all come here? Come here. That was the last table. So job done.
There we go.
Well done.
Right. Well done. I got 1 pasty to go on.
That's okay. No. That was the last table.
Well done.
Well done, my friend. Well done. It was great. How do you feel?
Hot.
Hot?
Yeah, relieved.
Really? Is
What
this
about you? You're hotter than I am.
I'm going to go night clubbing.
Is this something you would do it again?
Sure. No, I'd love to do it again.
You love to do it?
I would, honest. I'll come down here with him anytime.
What about you, big man?
Yeah, no problem at all.
Would you do it again?
Yeah.
So next time, if I have 200-300 people,
no problem.
No problem.
You will just get on with it.
Don't put turbot on the menu.
Yes.
Service is now over and our cooks have done all they can to secure their dish a place on the restaurant's menu for a month. It's now up to the diners and the restaurant's head chef and manager to help Gino make his difficult decision.
I had the pasty and it was really good, but I'm well full up now.
I love the home-cooked baked beans because I normally don't eat tinned beans because I don't like them. But with the pork belly, it was really nice and lovely homemade baked beans.
It was perfect. The fish was a lovely piece. Normally you often feel you get cheated with turbot because it's such an expensive fish. This was a piece 1.5 inches thick. It was really substantial, very tasty, beautifully cooked, perfect.
Well, the diners were impressed, but which dish will Gino pick? Will it be Janet Ethorne and her great-granny Catherine's Cornish pasty, accompanied by a fresh green salad, a Cornish classic first enjoyed by tin miners?
I'm making this pasty now on behalf of all Cornish women in the county.
Yes.
And this is our stand to say, this is how it's done. This is what it is.
Or Robin Turner with his father Jack's turbot in orange sauce, served with Cornish asparagus and new potatoes, a dish enjoyed by 5 generations of fishing ancestors.
Pride is one thing that comes to the mind of, you know, a family dish when it suddenly appears in front of the general public. But to actually see the family dish appear on a menu will be absolutely fantastic.
Or Joanne Schofield and great-grandmother Mary's baked beans, served with baking powder biscuits, a recipe that has made its way from America to Canada and now on to Cornwall.
I think my mother, my grandmother and my great-grandmother would be really proud to think that their humble dish, humble, sustaining, inexpensive dish has come into this very nice restaurant.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you my 3 home cooks. Come on, guys. As far as concerning me, and I think everybody, you are all winners, because to be able to cook in a professional kitchen and feed customers that you don't really know is already a win-win situation. One of your dish is going to be on this restaurant menu for 1 month, okay? And the winner of There Is No Taste Like Home is... Cornish pasty was amazing. Janet, well done.
Oh, I'm really pleased for Janet. She's a fantastic lady and she makes one mean pasty. She does it all properly and you cannot beat a homemade pasty, so I'm really glad, really pleased for her.
Well, I thought Joanne and Janet did a marvellous job, and the result was quite right. The Cornish pasty in the Cornish village is just perfect.
Today, I thought, well, I got to go for it. I am a Christian, and I said to the Lord, well, help me make it right today. Help me do it right, and it did. It worked out right. And here we are. No place like home. I can't believe it.
What a wonderful day we had. And of course, congratulations to Janet and her Cornish pasty, which I thought was absolutely amazing. The pastry was nice and crispy. The inside was absolutely beautiful. But you know what? That's it for today. But don't forget to join me next time as I continue my journey across the UK to find more home cooks, all eager to prove that there's no taste like home. Ciao. So if you want to try the winning dish yourself, or perhaps you want the details of the recipes featured on today's show, go to itv.com/food.
Every day on There's No Taste Like Home, Chef Gino DiCampo will take 3 family cooks and the recipes that have been passed down through their families from generation to generation, out of the home and into a professional kitchen.
Okay, come on, come on.
Together, they'll serve up their treasured dishes to paying customers, and the winning dish, judged by Gino, will be added to the restaurant's menu for a month.
A happy cooks makes beautiful dinners.
To prove
that there is no taste like home.
On today's show, a classic rabbit pie that was originally cooked by a resourceful Norfolk family during World War II.
The rank of, like, my grandparents were only allowed to take the rabbits. And actually, if you were caught with a pheasant, you did have to go and spend a little time away.
A succulent Cromer crab dish that's been passed down 4 generations of one seafaring family.
My youngest son, who's out this very day at the moment, he's offshore about 22 mile off, catching crabs.
And a traditional Sunday roast with a unique twist that evokes warm memories of family gatherings.
Memories are of all the family being together and just the excitement, the frenzy before it's going to be served up.
Hello, I'm Gino DiCampo, and today I'm in the beautiful city of Norwich in Norfolk. This county is the birthplace of the most famous sailor in the country, Admiral Nelson, and of course, American founding father, Thomas Paine. With over 100 miles of coastline and over 2,000 miles of fertile land, the ingredients here are top-notch. So with ingredients like this, my 3 home cooks, they really have no excuse for not rustling up great home-cooked dishes. This restaurant is the location for today's cook-off, but like always, only one can win a place on its menu. So let's get in there and meet today's cook and prove one more time that there's no taste like home.
Dawn Pollock is making Nanny Maude's rabbit pie. David Chambers is making Grandad Harry's Cromer crab bake. And Luke Cotup is making Grandma Eva's Great Norfolk roast.
So guys, welcome to a professional kitchen. How do you feel?
Excellent.
Yeah. Is it good? Is it exciting, is it?
Yeah. Very good.
Well, I'll tell you something, very soon this kitchen is going to get very hot. You got a lot of preparation to do. So what I want you to do, sleeves up, get in there, get into your station, do all the prep. Come on, let's start it.
Let's meet our first cook and find out how she cooks this dish at home. Dawn Pollock is a 48-year-old customer service advisor from Norwich. She lives with her husband Andy and 2 daughters, Sally and Susan. Their family favourite is Nanny Maude's rabbit pie.
This is how I make Nanny Maude's Norfolk rabbit pie. I'm lucky enough to have a dad who can go out and get me wild rabbit, but it is available now. So just go and ask at your local butcher's. Just put a drop of olive oil in the pan, and this is just to seal the rabbit off. The dish actually comes from my nan. She always used to cook this for my great-granddad. Now I just seal the rest of the ingredients. My dad had kept saying he could remember Nanny's rabbit pie, and I thought, well, I'll cook him one. Actually, he said it tasted exactly like it, so I've just stuck to the same recipe and the same things. You can add really as much bacon as you like. We've now got the stock. We just add this over to the rabbit. I like to cover it at this stage. You put it in the oven for about 1.5 hours to 2 hours. There we go. Now we're gonna make the pastry. First of all, just pop your flour in your bowl. And then your margarine, you need to just cut it into tiny pieces. And then just add your water. The aim is to get it into an oblong. Right, it's now been in about 1.5 hours. We want to take the meat off the bones. Just add that back into the gravy. Stir around. Right, that's ready to put in the pie dish now. Then what I do is just tuck it in so it's actually touching the rim. Just cut away the edge. Pop that in the middle shelf, the oven. The pie is now ready. It's lovely and golden. Right now, it's time to serve up.
That's Dawn's Nanny Maude's rabbit pie, a fantastic dish brimming with heritage. Time to find out about the dish's origins.
Tell me about this beautiful rabbit recipe.
It's from my nanny, my great nanny Maude, but it does go back as far as my great-granddad.
Dawn's great-grandfather worked as the head horseman for a wealthy family in Langham, Norfolk in 1943.
He done all like the shoots, got those ready and made sure all the beaters were there. The rank of my great-granddad were only allowed to take the rabbits. It was always the gentry that took the pheasants. And actually, if you were caught with a pheasant, you did have to go and spend a little time away.
So how old were you when you started to get involved with this dish?
I was probably about sort of 5. My nan was the first one to show me how to make a pastry. Every pie was decorated differently. The rabbit pie always had the petals with the rose in the middle. You never saw my nan without a pinny. Every photograph we've got, she's got a pinny on. I have to say, my mum was a fabulous cook. Unfortunately now, my mum's quite poorly and she can't remember how to do anything. So I've taken on all my grandmother's
All
recipes.
of your mother's recipe?
Yeah, which I cook for my dad. I don't always call it rabbit pie, I call it memory pie. I mean, I always have my dad and my brother over every time I cook it. And we always, as soon as the smell in the kitchen, and it always leads my dad off memories of years ago, what they used to do. And I'm actually now starting to teach my grandson. He's 8 and his favourite is gravy. He's getting the hang of gravy.
What would it mean to you, to your mother, to your grandmother, to win today and have this wonderful dish on a restaurant menu?
It would mean the world to me. My nan was very, very special. When you think of a grandmother, she's the grandmother everyone thinks of. I'd like to think that this would be for my dad as well, because she was quite a big part of the family.
You know, she's here with us today. She's going to be with you all the way, right? And you're going to have to work hard. It's going to get very hot here.
Yeah.
We do it for the family. Okay, that's what I wanted to do, for the family, for yourself.
Yeah, and this is for her, for the family.
With emotions running high, Dawn is determined to make her family proud and quickly gets to work sealing the rabbit and making the pastry. Mustard is the traditional accompaniment for rabbit, so Gino shows Dawn how to make her own.
I know you are not using mustard for your dish, but here in Norwich, mustard and rabbit, it goes like a marriage. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to make a very simple homemade mustard. So, first thing you need is a pestle mortar, mustard seeds. Okay, you put them there, and you start to crush them. So what's happening? Now it starts to release all the flavor. As you can see, all the mustard seeds, once you crush it, it becomes nice and yellow. So mix, 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 mix. Then very simple, we have a little bit of runny honey, because you want to put a little bit of sweetness in it. So a little runny honey goes in there. Start to mix. Then we got a little bit of vinegar. Okay? And you just mix everything together. And there you have it. Beautiful, simple, homemade mustard. Look at that.
Lovely.
Dawn's got a lot of work to do and she's concerned that the idea of rabbit on the menu will put some people off.
I'm probably most nervous about the dish, hoping that everybody will like it. Rabbit isn't that popular and I'm hoping this will make people try it.
What a stunning recipe and what a confident home cook. But remember, guys, they've never been in a professional kitchen before, so at this point, anything can happen. Welcome back to There's No Taste Like Home. Today, I'm in rural Norfolk. Now, the three home cooks are trying to really cut the mustard today in this kitchen and preparing their food for paying customers, which are going to be here very, very soon. Let's see who's going to cook up a storm for me next.
David Chambers is a 64-year-old fisherman from Melton Constable in Norfolk. He's married to wife Margaret and has 2 children and 9 grandchildren. David's making a dish that's been in his fishing family for over 50 years, Grandad Harry's Cromer crab bake.
Here's how I make my Grandad Harry's crab bake. This dish originally come from my grandfather, who came from Ireland, and it was carried on by my nan, because one of my jobs used to be grating the cheese and peeling potatoes. If we only caught 1, 2 or 3 crabs to make it go round such a big family, my nan used to mix it with the potatoes and that, and we all got a good share of it then. And by sitting down eating this, it just brings back some of the memories. Again, I like to put the chives in. It's added on from my nan's dish. We're going to pre-cook the vegetables to mix with the potatoes. I prefer the method of where we put it into the new wonders of cooking, into the microwave. We shut it and we set it for 4 minutes. And as far as seafood and fish goes, I find it one of the best inventions we had. I then mash up the boiled potatoes. Just a touch of cream, just to give it a bit of luxury, really. Some of the things I cook is what we learnt as children. Things that you can't buy today. These old traditional dishes are fantastic. And then we come to the very important bit, adding the crab. And contrary to all the rumours, I can categorically say you can't beat the Cromer crab. So, although being a fisherman for 35, 40 years now, believe it or not, all the thousands of crabs that we've caught and processed through the family unit, I can't dress a crab. I always vowed I can catch them, I'll land them, I'll boil them, but I will not dress. And my wife is the one that always dressed my crabs for me, and you'll find that good. Take the brown meat of the crab and we add it into the potatoes. And the reason I say it's my favourite bit is quite simple, because I can always pinch a bit, and I still like crab after all these years. I really do. It's just a taste to make it, the potatoes go a little further and make the crab taste nice. Then we get the white meat of the crab. Just spread it on the top. We now finish it off again with the last piece of the cheese. Just chop a very small piece of parsley up and we just sprinkle it on the top. Put it into the microwave. I can put it on for, again, 3 minutes. Take that out. Now it's time to plate up.
That's David's Grandad Harry's Cromer crab bake, a dish with ingredients that have remained unchanged for generations.
Tell me more about your recipe.
It was designed in general by my grandfather. I learnt it from my grandmother, who I spent a great deal of time with in my youth.
What about the memory that you have with your grandmother in the kitchen?
I can go back to when I was about 7. It was a very large family, so we all had our jobs to do, and my job would be on a big wooden table, going up and down on this thing, making this pile of cheese ready for the dish. That's how come we all learnt to cook.
David comes from 4 generations of crab fishermen, starting with his granddad Harry, who was a fisherman for over 40 years. David carried on the family tradition and has been crab fishing since 1959.
In them days I was very hard up, young family to keep, and I was often one of the few boats off the coast. Proud to have survived it. One day I didn't, I lost a boat. We pushed in a storm and she sunk 8 mile off in November. Put the crew and myself in the water. I just managed to get the Mayday out, and I was treading water for 30-odd minutes, and then my son-in-law, now, came out and found us.
So do you fish crab every day nowadays?
Near enough every day. We have 3 vessels in the family. My youngest son, who's out this very day at the moment, he's offshore about 22 mile off, catching crabs at sea all his life, from 9-year-old. He used to be one of the youngest skippers in the country, had his own boat by the time he was 16.
Can he do the recipe?
Yeah.
Can he do exactly the same recipe?
He tries, but he always says, Dad, I don't get it the same as you.
Now, what would it mean to you, to your family, to win today and have this beautiful dish that has been in your family for so many years, all of a sudden on a restaurant menu?
I'd be proud just to be able to say that, you know, the Chambers dish is being eaten by the normal people.
Yes!
And biggest thing of all is for the fishermen of Cromer to put their product on the market again, to stand there and say, we've got the best crab.
Yes.
David starts to peel the potatoes for his beloved crab bake, but Gino is keen to learn more about his time-saving cooking methods.
Now, tell me about this love affair that you have with the microwave.
Quite simply, if you cook crab, as you well know, most shellfish goes very hard.
Yes, they do.
You know, once it's been cooked and done, which is what we do, and then you put it into an oven, it'll go very rubbery and tough. So the idea of a microwave is to hit it just to melt the grated cheese on the top.
Okay.
That is the main reason.
You know that this is not going to happen. I haven't seen a microwave in this kitchen yet.
No, well, what I'm going to do, this is the deal. You show me how to use an oven, and I'll show you how to use a
You got a deal, my friend. You got a deal.
OK, Gino.
David gets cooking again, but the realities of working in a professional restaurant are starting to dawn on him.
I'm a little bit worried about the measurements of the dishes. We've multiplied it quite big, and I don't normally weigh or measure anything at home. It's all done by eye and guesswork. So it's going to be interesting.
With just 3 hours to go before service, our home cooks are piling on the elbow grease as they prepare their beloved family dishes for the first time in a professional kitchen. Each one is hoping that Gino will pick their dish to take pride of place on this restaurant's menu for a month. We've already heard about Dawn's Nanny Maude's rabbit pie and David's Grandad Harry's Cromer crab bake.
Today's menu is really coming up together, and I really hope that the paying customers of Norwich are ready for it. But we still have one more to go on today's magnificent menu.
Luke is a 32-year-old greengrocer from Norwich. He lives with wife Jodie and 8-month-old son George. His dish is a real Sunday family favourite, Grandma Eva's great Norfolk roast with Norfolk flats.
Here is how I make Grandma Eva's great Norfolk roast. My first memories of this dish probably go back to when I was about 5 or 6, and it was almost a ritual. Every Sunday we'd have a roast dinner. What I want to do to start off with is get my roasting dish ready. I've been this morning and picked the lamb up from my butcher. Nice new season spring lamb is going to be filled with flavour. We've raided the herbs from the garden. Traditionally, Grandma would have put the anchovies into the bottom of the roasting tray with all of the veg. I've put a little twist on that, and what I've done is where I've studded it with the garlic and rosemary, I put some of the anchovy in there as well. Lamb's done. Put this in for half an hour at a really, really high temperature. We'll then lower the temperature for the remaining period of time. And what we're going to put together now is the mixture for our Norfolk flat. Over the years, whenever I've tried to make the Yorkshire, they sometimes turn out really nice and high and fluffy and crusty. Other times, they turn out about that big. So we, as a joke, because we're in Norfolk and Norfolk is renowned to be so flat, we renamed it and called it a Norfolk flat. We're going to put another little twist on it, which I've added to the recipe. I'm going to put some of the fresh rosemary through it. In goes the rosemary. That's going to go straight back into the oven. This was Grandma Eva's carving knife, and it's always a big sort of memory point really for the Sundays, because as soon as you heard this knife go, i.e. that was when you knew as a kid you could run through into the kitchen and just hover around the meat board for any little bits that might fall off. the Norfolk not so flat. But you can see where all the rosemary has come through, giving it a little green flick. Next, we're ready to plate up.
That's Luke's Grandma Eva's great Norfolk roast with Norfolk flats, served with broccoli and cauliflower cheese, roast potatoes and carrot and swede mash.
Look, tell me a little bit about your grandmother, her character, what she was doing. You know, tell me.
Grandma Eva, she was a big, cuddly character, full of life. They grew up during the war. They worked with the Salvation Army. Very, very close family, very passionate towards the family and towards their food. My memories were always the Sunday lunch, the roast lamb on the Sunday with Grandma. The memories are of all the family being together and just the excitement, the frenzy before it's going to be served up. And as it's all cooking, you get all the smells coming out and everyone's sort of getting a bit, when's it ready, when's it ready?
Tell me a little bit about your memory about this dish, you know, when you first got involved with it.
Well, really, it would be from a really young age, probably around 5, where I would always be in the kitchens watching what my mum and dad would do. And then I'd say, well, can I help? So I was always given things like the carrots. So my biggest memory would be I'd put my little pinny on, pull a chair up next to the worktop, and there I'd start peeling and topping and tailing. And then as I got older, I learned to do more. It got to about the age of probably about 8, 9, maybe 10, where I turned around and said, come on, let me have a go at doing it. I'm ready
now.
Yeah, I've run the gauntlet.
Have you ever had the chance to cook this dish for your grandma?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
What she thinks?
Well, she was very proud that I could put it all together, get all the timing done, and recreate that dish with all the flavours. What I'm looking forward to doing is passing it on to my little son, George. He will sit on the worktop and he just watches me prepping everything, so he's learning.
Look, what would it mean to you to win today's competition and have your dish on a restaurant menu for a month?
It would mean the world to me, because I could share what our family passion is, which is food. And it's a really, really important dish for people to learn how to make, 'cause it's quite easy, it's full of flavour.
Luke has prepared his lamb and is in the middle of making a bechamel sauce for his cauliflower and broccoli bake.
I'm feeling the heat. No, I'm all right. I'm just conscious I don't want any lumps or for it to split.
But Gino spots a potential problem with the mixture and steps in.
There are a couple of tips to make sure that it doesn't split. What is yours?
Well, the way I do it is I add my milk into my roux slowly, small amounts at a time.
But the milk is hot.
The milk is hot.
Ta-ta-ta-ta. See, the classic technique would be to have the roux hot and the milk really cold. As you're doing that, I can tell you why the problem it could be that you have lumps. Hot milk is the time where it starts to separate between water and fat. So when it's hot, the milk at this stage is very, very delicate.
Yeah.
And very easily will split, very easily will make lumps into the bechamel sauce. If this one was completely cold, you wouldn't have none of the problems that I just said.
So that's
Now, the other thing is as well, usually the percentage is 1/10 to the milk. So if this is 100 grams of butter, 100 grams of flour, this one should be 1 liter of milk.
Okay.
So it's always 1/10 of the milk to make the perfect bechamel sauce.
And this is what my mum taught me. She just said, keep stirring, keep stirring, keep stirring. And we're starting to get the little shine. I like to think there's not too many lumps in there at the moment.
It's okay, it's only a few lumps. Nobody will realise that.
So all I'm going to do is cook the flour out.
Until it gets thickened.
Thicker. I'm going to add the cheese and I'm going to add fresh grated nutmeg.
There you have it. This is how to make a very quick cheese sauce.
Luke may feel better about his bechamel sauce, but is anxious about the sheer amount of work involved to deliver the perfect roast to the paying diners.
I've got a lot of prep to do today. Lots of peeling, lots of chopping, lots of topping and tailing.
It's 2 hours until service and the pressure is on. Our 3 home cooks are busy preparing their dishes, this time for paying customers. With the rabbit still cooking and the pastry not finished, Dawn is in danger of falling behind schedule.
Lose all track of time in here. The rabbit's not out of the oven yet, so yeah, a little bit of panic now.
David is stirring his crab into the potato and vegetable mix, and despite Gino's deal, is still not convinced on the merits of cooking his dish in a conventional oven.
I still like microwave for fish, but at the end of the day, I'll give both a try. Peas in a pod will always cook either way.
Luke's lamb's in the oven and he's now preparing his Norfolk flat mix, but can he bring all the elements together for service?
We're against the clock now. It's got to be really good tasting food.
Welcome back to Does Not Taste Like Home, where today I'm in the country's most eastern city, Norwich. Very soon, this magnificent restaurant is going to be filled with paying customers, all eager to try some good old-fashioned home food. While my home cooks are busy prepared for service, let's remind ourselves what's on the menu today.
Dawn Pollock is making Granny Maude's classic rabbit pie, originally created by her family during the strict rationing of World War II.
My dad had kept saying that he could remember Nanny's rabbit pie, but actually he said it tasted exactly like it.
David Chambers is making Grandad Harry's Cromer crab bake, a recipe that his family of fishermen have never tired of.
I still like crab after all these years. I really do.
And Luke Cotup is making his Grandma Eva's Great Norfolk Roast, a dish that summons happy memories of childhood.
Because as soon as you heard this knife go, that was when you knew, as a kid, you could run through into the kitchen and just hover around the meat board for any little bits that might fall off.
Preparation is over in the kitchen and the finishing touches are underway in the dining room. Very shortly, 50 discerning diners will be sitting down for lunch service. Back in the kitchen, the nerves are setting in for our three home cooks.
Well, I've been in many professional kitchens. I've never been this side, ever. I'll be honest. Now I know how hard they work.
One in front. It's a bit daunting being in a professional kitchen. I'm most worried about overcooking the lamb.
Really full on. How these people do it every day, I do not know.
What's happening here? We just got a little bit of Christmas going, but that's fine. We've rescued it.
Some people would say burns. In a professional kitchen, we call them crispy caramelized. That's what I love about you. And what's happening here?
Just crimping it. I usually have a little slightly flatter dish, but I usually just crimp it as I go along.
I don't see any flowers or roses here.
No.
So what's happening? We have paying customers coming in and you couldn't even be bothered to do the flower.
I'm sorry. I just ran out of pastry. You know, we're under pressure.
Already under pressure? We haven't even started yet.
I know.
With Luke and Dawn both struggling, David's finding the conventional ovens a challenge.
I just can't use them. You throw me into something I can't use.
What are you doing there? Chatting away.
I'm trying to be a chef.
You're trying to be a chef? Are you going to be ready for service, yes or no?
I'll try.
I want you to say, yes, Gino, we're going to be ready.
We'll be ready.
Finally, it's lunch service and the restaurant's doors open to their hungry clientele. There's a fantastic turnout of Norfolk's local residents. Even the Sheriff of Norwich has come down to try out some good old-fashioned home cooking.
The menu is looking really good. I think we've got 3 meals here that sum up the spirit of Norfolk very well.
We're quite torn. We don't know what one to have because they all look really nice.
But I certainly honed in on the Cromer crab because it's not something I would make at home.
I think with the lamb, the rabbit and the crab, I'm going to be spoilt for choice.
With service about to start, Gino must ensure that everything going out of the kitchen is not only cooked properly, but also beautifully presented. So before anybody orders, Gino puts each dish to the taste test. First up is Luke's Grandma Eva's Great Norfolk Roast.
I love lamb. Good flavor. I can get the rosemary flavor in there. This is the Norfolk flat, which is nice. cauliflower and broccoli cheese. I love the fact that the cauliflower is nice and al dente with the cheese sauce. Look at that, absolutely beautiful. And the combination of the cauliflower cheese and the lamb is really, really beautiful.
Next up for tasting is David's Grandad Harry's Cromer crab bake.
This part here looks amazing. I have to say, I'm not really keen about the way the vegetables are presented. It looks quite dry and quite messy, so I'm gonna have to talk to him about that. But tasting the crab, good. Well-seasoned dish. The sweetness of the crab comes very nicely through. The peppers are nice and crunchy. It's beautiful.
And finally, it's Dawn's Nanny Maude's rabbit pie.
Now, the first thing is I want to make sure that the pastry is cooked. And I think we are on a winner here. Done to perfection. So look at that. Pieces of mushroom, flaking rabbit with the pastry is just heaven. Oh. Oh. The meat is flaking and breaking in my mouth. Absolutely beautiful.
Satisfied with the dishes, Gino heads out to the restaurants to greet some very special customers.
So you must be Jill. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good, thank you. Very good. Luke is working very, very hard in the kitchen.
Good.
Do you want him to win?
Yes.
Why is that?
Because I think he should win, because I think he deserves to win, because I think he's got a wonderful palate and a wonderful flair. And it would be just so lovely because of my mum.
I wish you the best of luck. Have a good lunch.
Thank you
and
very
I'll see
much.
you later.
Thank you.
Ciao, Bella. So, Bob, how are you?
All right.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
You must be very proud that a dish that has been in your family for so long, all of a sudden on a restaurant menu.
Yeah, but my grandmother used to do it, you see.
And your grandmother as well?
Yeah.
Okay, so you reckon she going to be all right in a professional kitchen?
I think, Gino, she'd keep up with you.
We will soon find out.
Yeah.
You have a great lunch, guys.
So expectations are high with the home cook's family members. By the end of lunch, Gino has the tough task of awarding one dish the coveted prize of being on this restaurant's menu for 1 month. His decision will look at 3 main criteria: cost of ingredients, preparation time in the kitchen, and the reaction of the diners.
My biggest worry about service is getting burnt.
So this is where we are today. I have Luke, the overconfident one, with Lego lamb. Unless he's perfect, he's not going anywhere. So no pressure. I have Dave. He's going to be a little bit of panic with him because I think he's definitely not used to a professional kitchen. He has no idea what is going to come to him. Then we got Dawn with the rabbit. I'm a little bit worried about that because I think people, they are scared when they see rabbit on the menu. So I really hope that they're going to give it a chance. Now, listen to me. Service is about to start in about a minute, okay? The order are going to come in and they're going to be very fast. When I call the order, okay, I want you to answer me back, yes, chef, because I need to know that you understood the order. Are you ready?
Yes, chef.
Okay, so let's get in position and let's rock and roll.
Yeah, 2 crab?
Yeah.
I'll go for the rabbit.
May I have the lamb, please?
Okay, guys, the first orders. Can I have 6 lamb, 1 rabbit, 4 crab?
Yes, chef.
Table 16, I've got 2 crab.
As service begins, there's immediately a rush.
Look at that. Can I have 1 rabbit, 4 crabs, Dave?
Yes,
2 more
chef,
crabs.
2 more crabs.
2 more crabs, yeah? 1 more rabbit, 1 more lamb. 1 more crab, nice and hot, 4 lamb.
1 rabbit, I've got 2 crab and 1 roast lamb.
I need 4 more crabs. And I need 2... Guys, are you listening to me?
Yes, chef.
Okay, I need 6 lamb. You must put these crabs in. I need another 2 more. Come on, 6 of them, one after the other one in.
The chefs are struggling to keep up as more orders come in.
Come on, guys, we really have to give a push, yeah? We have tickets coming from all over the place. Get the rabbits and put them in the oven.
Yeah.
Get about 10 crabs and put them in the oven, yeah?
As head chef, it's Gino's job to ensure all the dishes meet his high standards before they leave the kitchen. But there's a problem with David's crab dish.
That's it. Are you serious? Look, I'm putting my finger in there. It's freezing.
That's the oven. I can't do them all. We tried them.
These are absolutely freezing. You must give me your dish that is hot. I cannot serve a cold dish.
Hectic.
Well, I have to say that it's going very slow at the moment. We're having a few problems with the crabs. I don't know why are they not ready. I needed this crab, man. Seriously.
Ah, that's fantastic. Whew.
Season always from high, not low. Otherwise, it's going to concentrate in one place only.
Yes, chef.
Then come here 1 second. Have a look at this. All the
Yeah.
plate is dirty. Make
Yeah.
sure that you give me the plate as clean as you can.
Yeah.
Look at it. Look at here.
Yeah.
The best way to do it, get all the crabs into the oven right now. Right. All of them.
Service is in full flow and the cooks start to pick up speed, producing some top quality food.
Fantastic. Look at that. Your dish looks amazing.
Well, thank you for
Wonderful.
that.
Really, really
Hard
cool
work.
dish. You should be very proud of that, my friend.
No worries. Thank you.
With the cooks finally settling into service with head chef Gino, just how is the food going down with the diners?
Very, very tasty indeed. Yeah, a lovely taste of the Norfolk seaside. Beautiful.
So far, it's really nice. Everything goes well together, especially the gravy. That's gorgeous. I'm looking forward to eating the rest.
I ordered the lamb and it's really tasty and really succulent and it's all very nice.
Come on, we can definitely do this, guys. Come on, come on, come on. Give me this lamb. Give me this lamb.
Yes, chef.
4 rabbits. I need 5 crabs in total. Hot pies, hot lady, hot pies, hot lady. I need 1 more crab. How long?
3 minutes, chef.
3 minutes. 3 minutes?
I haven't noticed.
Have you not got the other leg?
Yeah, I'm now about to cut that.
Yeah. Look at that. Beautiful. Yes. I need 1 more crab. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that's why I do what I do. Dave, you got 10 seconds to finish off with these 2 crabs.
Just take the one out, Gino.
That's it. Very nice. Are you sure that they're hot? Yeah?
Yeah, that's what we're...
Positive.
Service is nearly over for the 3 home cooks and the food seems to be pleasing the palates of the diners.
All 3 have been absolutely fantastic, but which one is going to make it on the menu? Hurry up with this lamb. Hurry up, there's 6 lambs.
Chef Gino DiCampo is on a mission to prove there's no taste like home.
Come on, let's do it. We can do this.
He's found 3 home cooks with 3 historic family recipes. Together, they've taken over a restaurant in Norfolk. It's a full house, and as a result, the orders are coming through thick and fast.
5 more lamb, 1 more crab, 2 more rabbits. I need 6 lamb. Can you do that for me?
I can do anything.
Come on. All right, table number 5, 4 rabbits. 5 crabs.
Yes, chef.
After a difficult start, where our home cooks struggled to keep up with the barrage of orders, they've now settled into service, and the diners seem to be enjoying their cherished family favourites.
I reckon that's done beautiful. Yeah, thoroughly enjoying it. Thank you.
Really beautiful. Didn't expect it to be as juicy. It's really delicious. It's delicious, really delicious. Got nice peppers in, and it's nice and crunchy. It's lovely, isn't it? Tasty.
It's your lamb. Done.
Service is nearly over, and the cooks are all hoping Gino will choose their dish as the winner and secure a place on the restaurant's menu for a month.
Okay, guys, this is the final table. I need 2 more lamb.
Yes, chef.
The last table. Well done, you done it. Very good. How are you feeling?
Whacked.
Yeah?
How you do it every day, I don't know.
Dave?
But it's...
Yeah, I recommend it for a medal. I think it should be a medal, because that is really hard in it.
It's tough.
Service is finished, and our cooks have done all they can to showcase their dishes. It's now up to the diners, Jasmine, the restaurant manager, and Simon, the head chef, to help Gino pick the winner.
I had the Cromer crab and the beans were cooked really nicely and there was a nice mix of flavours and textures. Yeah, it's really nice.
I had the Norfolk roast and it tasted nice but the lamb was too fatty for me.
I had the rabbit pie. I thought it was really nice, never had rabbit before. I was quite surprised how it tasted, didn't really know what to expect, but I really enjoyed it. The vegetables were lovely, and the pastry was probably the best pastry I've ever had.
Well, they seem to have enjoyed them, but which dish will Gino pick? Will it be Dawn Pollock making Nanny Maude's rabbit pie, a classic dish that fed the poor gamekeepers of wealthy families over 70 years ago?
What would it mean to you to win today and have this wonderful dish on a restaurant menu?
It would mean the world to me because she was quite a big part of the family.
Or will David Chambers make the grade with his granddad Harry's Cromer crab bake, a dish passed down through 4 generations of his family of crab fishermen?
I'd be proud just to be able to say that, you know, the Chambers dish is being eaten by the normal people.
Or can Luke Coatup impress with his Grandma Eva's Great Norfolk Roast, a traditional meal that evokes warm memories of Sunday family gatherings?
It would mean the world to me because I could share what our family passion is, which is food.
Time to welcome the cooks into the restaurants to find out whose heritage dish will win a place on the menu.
Well done, man. Well done, well done. Well done. Are you okay? Well, Luke, the dish was amazing. It looked good on a plate. And I have to say, from this morning, you kept very professionally, you know, very cool, very calm. And I like that. And you really delivered during service.
Thank you.
Dave, what can I say about you? Dave, I have to admit, during service, at one point, I thought you were gonna die. You were all red, sweating everywhere. But, you know, slowly, you delivered. And I like that. So well done to you as well. Don, this morning, I was a bit worried when you came into the kitchen because I thought you would have panicked during service. But you know what? You did very well. I was really, really impressed. So well done for that. Unfortunately, we can only have one winner. Of course, by being here, you're all winners already. But today, the winner of There's No Taste Like Home is... the rabbit pie. Absolutely fantastic.
This is such a big thing for my nan. My nan was a wonderful lady and she was a fabulous cook. And this is a real, if she was here, I know she'd just be so proud.
She worked very hard getting it together. A very difficult dish, I would have thought. Yeah, I'm well happy, thank you.
Excellent experience. A few war wounds. Got a little bit hot and sweaty in there, but yeah, really good experience. Loved it.
All 3 dishes that have really captured the spirit of today's show. And of course, congratulations to all the 3 cooks, especially to Dawn and her rabbit pie. Now, join me next time as I continue my journey across the UK to discover more home cooks. Because we want to prove one more time that there's no taste like home. So if you want to try the winning dish yourself, or perhaps you want the details of the recipes featured on today's show, go to itv.com/food.
Every day on There's No Taste Like Home, Chef Gino DiCampo will take 3 family cooks and the recipes that have been passed down through their families from generation to generation, out of the home and into a professional kitchen.
Come on, let's get cooking.
Together, they'll serve up their treasured dishes to paying customers, and the winning dish, judged by Gino, will be added to the restaurant's menu for a month.
Remember, this is your great-grandmother's recipes
to prove
that there is no taste like home.
On today's show, a traditional egg and bacon pie that conjures up memories of a Hertfordshire harvest over 50 years ago.
I just remember it being warm and sunny and we'd sit on the bales and it was just wonderful.
A hearty Sunday lunch from the Caribbean that dates back over 200 years.
This dish is eaten every Sunday in Trinidad. It's like what you would call here traditional Sunday roast.
and a 100-year-old recipe for lamb curry that's crossed continents to become a South African favourite.
My family's originally from South India, and so they came over to South Africa, part of the 1860 settlers, to work on the sugarcane plantations.
Hello, I'm Gino DiCampo, and today I'm in swinging London. Yeah, baby! This amazing city is home to over 7 million people and 7,000 restaurants with a cuisine that comes from all over the world. London has changed a lot. Back in the 1700s, this whole area was full of cows, ready to go to the market. Well, today I found 3 recipes full of history and 3 cooks desperate to show them off. I brought them to one of London's top restaurants, Harvey Nichols, where they're gonna cook their dish like Mama used to make for the West London diners.
With the expectations of our Knightsbridge diners sure to be high, let's hope our 3 home cooks and their traditional dishes can rise to the occasion. Ray Mahabir is making a Trinidadian Sunday feast. Charlie Moodley is making Durban bunny chow, and Jane Colebrook is making egg and bacon harvest pie.
What do you think?
Very nice.
It's good, is it?
Wonderful.
It's a big restaurant, so there's going to be a lot of diners. Are you excited?
Very excited.
Ready to cook?
Yes. Ready to
High
cook.
10, everybody. Come on. High 10, high 10, high 10. Let's go cooking. Let's go cooking.
Now for our first cook to show us their dish at home. Jane is a 63-year-old PA from Battersea, London. Her 3 grown-up children have all flown the nest, but still come back to Mum's to enjoy her egg and bacon harvest pie. This dish reminds Jane of her childhood on the family farm in Hertfordshire, where her granny made it for the workers.
To make my harvest pie, the first thing I need to do is to cut up the bacon, actually, first, and put that in the pan. Gently fry the bacon in a little olive oil. The smoked bacon fat has a lot of flavour, and if you let it run into the olive oil, then when you put the sliced onions in, it'll absorb that flavour. Yeah, so we just let that saute gently. Now I make the short crust pastry. I put the flour into the mixing bowl, pinch of salt, and then 50 grams of butter and 50 grams of fat. Well, not a lot of people use lard anymore in pastry because they think, ooh, cooking fat, that's not very nice. But this is pure lard. And my mother and certainly my grandmother would always have used lard. And then I'm going to mix it with my fingers. The thing about making pastry is that you can't hurry it. The idea is for it to end up looking like breadcrumbs. My mother taught me to do this. I think I started cooking at the age of 8. Take a tablespoon of water and you just sprinkle it over. And then it'll probably certainly need 2. I can tell when it's done because it's starting to go together. So I think that's going to stick now. And you see it's nicely coming together into one. And there we are. Nice bit of pastry ready to roll out for our harvest pie. Very gently, not pressing too hard. And if it's very short crust, it can sometimes break, which it has, but not to worry, because we can patch it up. The next thing I'm going to do this all the way around, just pinching it, pressing it down to make a nice edge to it. So that's all ready now for the next stage. I'm now going to put the bacon and onions into the pie dish. Now I'm going to lay the tomato slices. It's nice to have tomatoes in it because it keeps it nice and moist. I then season it with salt and pepper. We take the 4 eggs, break them individually into a cup, and then I tip them gently into their 4 places. I add 4 to 6 tablespoons of single cream. Now I'm going to put the pie in the oven, and cook it for between 20 and 25 minutes.
That's how to make Jane's fabulous egg and bacon harvest pie. Now Gino is keen to hear more about its history.
So Jane, how things are going?
They're going very well.
Are you happy?
Yes, I'm very happy.
You look very happy.
Oh, thank you.
Now tell me about this harvest pie. How old is this recipe?
This recipe goes back to my grandmother from about 1910, I would say.
1910. So it's at least 100 years old.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about this dish.
Well, this dish I started cooking with my mother while my mother was cooking.
Okay.
And I learnt to cook it with her at the age of 8 because I started cooking.
8 already?
8.
Already with,
yes,
you know, pastry?
Yes, loving it. We lived on a farm. My father was a farmer, and she used to make it for the harvest tea, because we used to take the tea up to the harvest field where they were combining. This would be in August. I just remember it always being very warm and hot. And we'd take this up the field, and everybody would stop the combines and the balers, and we'd all sit there on the bales and eat sandwiches and the harvest pie.
Have you taught the recipe to anybody else?
I have taught the recipe to my 2 sons. Okay. I have a daughter and 2 sons, and both my sons love cooking. They're it's a bit simple for them, you know. They're like, well, when I say simple,
they want to do all the modern.
Oh, why don't you put a bit of this in there, Mum, and this? And I said, no. The whole point is that
you two listen to your mum. Listen to your mum. Why do we have to change recipe when they're beautiful already?
Well, that's my whole feeling about it.
Well, Jane, good luck. Okay,
Thank
you're going to be absolutely fine.
Oh, I hope so.
Come here. Good luck. But before you're going to start cooking, let me tell you a little bit about blind baking. You know that blind baking is only became cool in the last 40, 50 years, since the celebrity chefs started to do the blind baking, because they wanted to keep all the bottom nice and crispy, all the side cooked. In the old days, it used to be like you do, everything in, and you would cook anyway.
Exactly.
Okay, so it just become cooler in the last 40, 50 years. But how you do it? You brush with a little bit of oil, butter, whatever kind of fat. If you have lard, will be good. Then you get your pastry. You put in one of these tartlets, and it's actually a quite good way to do blind baking if you use small tart tins.
Yes.
Okay, so you put them like this. Then you get a little bit of paper, parchment, whatever you fancy. You put them in the middle, and the way you blind bake, you can use dried beans or you can use rice. Very simply, put everything in the middle. And what's going to happen, this is going to create the weight on the top of the pastry.
Yes.
So you know that it's going to
Stop
be
it from rising
perfectly round, stop it from rising, everything beautiful and cooked. In the oven. And this is how you blind bake. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Okay, look at that. Beautiful.
Oh, wonderful.
Absolutely beautiful. Now what we do, very simple. Take the paper and the rice out. Large rolling pin. Okay, and it goes on top. You just put a little bit of pressure, and it cuts everything that is on the side. Can you see? Nice and easy.
Yes.
Look at that. So you're not fiddling with knives or anything like that. Look at this, Jane. Welcome back to There's No Taste Like Home. Today, I'm in London, where I've dug up 3 beautiful home-cooked recipes. And the heat is on, because we're going to serve this recipe in this restaurant to paying customers.
Time to see how our second cook makes their dish at home. Ray Mahabir is a 48-year-old fun-loving carnival artist from Wood Green in London. Ray's dish is a meal of epic proportions, a Trinidadian Sunday feast. This comprises of a chicken and red bean stew served on a bed of spicy puree known as callaloo, with a side of macaroni pie. Ray can trace the origins of this recipe back to his grandmother, Violet, who made it every weekend.
I'm now going to start my stew chicken and red beans. What I'm going to create here is a marinade for the chicken. And for this marinade, I'm going to throw all the chopped up herbs, chive, 1 spring onions, half a white onion, coriander, garlic, cloves, thyme, ginger, Worcester sauce, and Angostura bitters. What I've got in here is legs and thighs. The way this is stewed down, the bone actually helps preserve some of the flavor. The way we stew in the Caribbean is we caramelize sugar. You can't take your eyes away from it because the sugar will burn, and we do not want it to burn. Now you have to add the chicken at this stage, and one of the important parts of this is try not to get yourself burned. What I'm going to add to this one is coconut milk. So we get that, to an extent, sweet but rich flavor. And then I'm also going to add the red beans into it. And I'm going to let this cook now for a bit. What I'm going to prepare now is the callaloo. It's a combination of different ingredients in one pot. And what we would have traditionally used in the Caribbean is the dasheen leaf. It's the leaf of a root vegetable. I think it's also called elephant ears. Onion, chive, pumpkin. And sometimes, I've been living here for 13 years now, and sometimes when I'm a bit down, I kind of make stuff that reminds me of home and reminds me when I was a child, and thyme especially reminds me, the smell of thyme reminds me of when I was living back in the Caribbean. I've chunked up the okras, and it goes into the pot. Next, what I'm going to add into this is the dasheen leaves. A lot of people definitely would not be able to get dasheen leaves, but there's no difference with using ordinary spinach. So I'm going to add now my coconut milk. This here is the callaloo finished. I'm going to start making the macaroni pie. And what I've got here in my liquid base is carnation milk, 3 eggs, and 100 grams of Stilton. So I combine all the ingredients. In the big dish with the cheese, I'm going to put my pasta in. I'll take the plantain and lay at the bottom of the dish. What we're going to do now is we're going to put our macaroni or pasta into the dish. And I'm going to bake this for about 35 to 40 minutes.
So that's Ray's Trinidadian Sunday feast of stewed chicken and red beans on a bed of callaloo served with macaroni pie, with an extraordinary Caribbean heritage.
Tell me a little bit about this dish. How long has it been in your family?
I think it's about 200 years old.
When do you recall the first time that you started to get involved with this recipe? I mean, what were you?
11
Young
years.
boy, 11?
We would have gone to Sunday school and then come home. So mommy and daddy would have gone home. They would have started cooking. And when you get back home, we sit as a family and we have lunch together.
And who actually showed you the recipe?
My mom. My mom just made me cook. And the way she brought us up was give us our freedom. She'd say to me, oh, you need to cook so today. And I'll go like, oh, I can't cook that. And she said, oh, go and try. Just that's it. And think.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Do you remember how did it start?
If you look at some of the history, it's actually part of the missionaries that came on the island to do religion, because we have a lot of Presbyterians on the island because of that. The callaloo is actually, when you look at the research, it's African. And the stew is a combination of African and our local indigenous people, which would have been the Caribs and the Arawaks.
Are you worried that all these components that you have in this recipe, can you make it for out there?
I think
Do you
I
think
should.
you're going to have everything ready?
Yes, I'm sure I will.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Ray gets on with making his callaloo to go with the chicken and red bean stew. With just 3 hours to go before service, the pressure is on as our home cooks busily prepare their beloved family dishes for the first time in a professional kitchen. Each one is hoping that Gino will pick their dish to take pride of place on this restaurant's menu for a month. We've already heard about Jane's egg and bacon harvest pie and Ray's Trinidadian Sunday feast.
2 amazing dishes with plenty of history. 1 more to go.
Let's meet our third cook. Charlene Moodley is a 27-year-old graphic designer who lives with her husband Rakesh in Old Colston, Surrey. Her dish is Durban bunny chow, a curry that started its life in 1860s India before travelling to South Africa with migrant Indians who worked on the sugar plantations. Bunny chow, which means fast food, was always served in a hollowed-out loaf because plantation workers couldn't afford plates.
I'm going to get the curry ready. I prefer using the red onions because I think they're sweeter, and I like the colour in the curry as well. I'm sure Gino's gonna laugh at the way that I chop my onions. Next, I'm gonna put in a couple of cloves, some Starr anise, and then we have cassia bark, which is just like cinnamon, but I think that the taste is stronger and similar to the one that we use in South Africa. And for my secret weapon, but it's not so much a secret, is my curry powder from South Africa. And you're gonna laugh at the tin that it's in. It's an old ice cream tin. This curry powder is mixed by my mum, and just the way we like it. So we're just gonna fry this off for about 30 seconds. Traditionally, South Africans would use lamb leg. It's nice, but I like adding a bit of shoulder as well in there. I know it's a bit stringy, but it's really tasty, so I like adding that as well. So I've just added the lamb into the spices, and I've just mixed them up really well. And now we want that to seal and brown a bit. Here I've got some vine tomatoes, so I'm just gonna pop them in the blitzer. So I'm just gonna add the potatoes into the lamb curry. And yeah, you can just let it simmer for about 5 or 10 more minutes. It's traditionally served in the bread because the Indian immigrants at the time in Durban, South Africa, they probably couldn't afford plates, and bread was probably the cheapest thing that they would eat with their curries. And so instead of taking a plate and stuff like that to work, they would just use the bread as sort of a bowl. The recipe's from South Africa, so you appreciate it more, you feel closer to home whenever you make it yourself.
That's Charlene's Durban bunny chow served in bread with a carrot salad. Gino wants to know more about this dish's extraordinary journey around the world.
How old you reckon these recipes?
Late 1860s.
How long has it been in your family?
Probably about 2 or 3 generations.
You learned from your mother?
Yes, I did. I've been eating it since I was really young, and I only started making it when I was a teenager, so about 16 or so.
About 16, you started with your mom.
Yes.
She showed you exactly how to do it.
Yes.
And I guess your mom learned from your grandmother
Yes.
as well.
Mostly we'd have it when we're having family get-togethers. So there'll be loads of family and everybody will be eating, and you share the dish as well. My family's originally from South India, and so they came over to South Africa. They were the...
So from South India, they went to South Africa?
Yes.
Very good.
And they were the 1860 settlers to work on the sugarcane plantations.
Charlene's ancestors emigrated from India to South Africa in the hope of a better life.
It was expensive to take bowls and plates and all that stuff to work, so that's how they developed the dish.
Oh, so I got that. So because it was expensive to have the plate, they actually invented their own plating with the bread. Put the stew into the bread, the curry into the bread, cover it up and take it to work.
Yeah.
Because each family, they make their own garam masala, okay? They do their own combination.
Yes.
The thing that's heavy, when you buy the one already in the packets, you open it up, and then after a month, all the flavor is gone, completely gone. So what I would suggest to do, make your own one, so then you can adjust with your own flavor. Okay, the way I'll do it, I got a little bit of cumin, goes in there. Then coriander seeds, more or less the same quantity. Then probably 2 or 3 cloves, I'll put in there. Cardamom, not too many because these are very powerful. So put them in there, mix everything together. See, by doing that, once everything is mixed together, you put it in a nice airtight container. It lasts for 6, 7, 8 months. But then the beauty is you can adjust the flavor as you like it. Okay? So you got your powder ready.
Oh,
Look at that.
That's lovely.
Huh? Smell that. Ready for your curries. That's it.
With only 2 hours until service, the pressure is on. The 3 home cooks are busy preparing their beloved family recipes, but this time for paying customers. Ray has made his callaloo, marinated his chicken, and is about to add the coconut milk.
I'm on time in my mind, so I'm quite comfortable so far. If I can get the can opener to work. It's not. Where's my commie chef?
Charlene has prepared her vegetables for her curry, but struggles with the professional knives.
Not used to sharp knives like these. I was cutting up the meat and I sliced my finger a little bit. But it's only a little cut, so it'll be fine. I guess it was a little surreal, and now it's quite real. You know, it's getting close to lunchtime. So now I feel a bit overwhelmed. It's quite busy in here. Everybody's so professional.
And Jane is battling to make enough pastry for 60 paying diners.
You haven't gone long, and you still haven't done your pastry, right? Nothing is in the oven. We still haven't told probably about the presentation.
No, but Gina, the thing is that the best thing about this is once the pastry's done and rolled out, the other ingredients get put in the oven, then it's done in 20 minutes.
So you're confident?
So I'm confident.
Welcome back to London, where I met my 3 fantastic cooks and their great recipes that they've been passed down through their family for generations. But today, they are not cooking for their family. Today, they will be cooking for a restaurant full of paying customers. They will have to compete to have the honor of having their dish added to this restaurant menu starting from tomorrow. But before that, let's remind ourselves what's on the menu.
Jane Colebrook is making her egg and bacon harvest pie, a classic country dish from the farmlands of Hertfordshire.
I used to cook this with my mother. We used to use it in a picnic, which we used to take up to the harvest field.
Ray Mahabir is making his Trinidadian Sunday feast, a 200-year-old recipe that conjures up memories of his childhood.
Sometimes when I'm a bit down, I kind of make stuff that reminds me of home and reminds me when I was a child, and the smell of thyme reminds me of when I was living back in the Caribbean.
Charlene Moodley's hoping to impress with her 3rd-generation Durban bunny chow, a South African fast food dish dating back to the 1860s. It's a recipe that reminds Charlene of her roots.
I know, you appreciate it more. You feel closer to home and you feel like you're having a part of home whenever you make it yourself.
It's 10 minutes before service and already there's a crowd of hungry diners queuing outside the restaurant, all eager to sample our 3 cooks' delicious home dishes. Time to get back to the kitchen to see how the home cooks are getting on.
It's quite exciting and quite fun. Tiring and a bit hot and nerve-wracking, but fun.
A bit slow, but I'm trying my best to hurry up.
Ray, how are we doing here?
Very good.
Good?
Yes.
Are you happy with the dish?
Yes, I am.
Have you tasted?
Yes, I did.
What do you think?
I think it's fine, actually. I don't need a lot of salt.
It's well seasoned. I just thought it would be tiny more spicy, if you know what I mean.
No, it's not.
So you wanted to have a nice balance, a little bit, the sweetness comes through well. I like it. It's well seasoned. Good dish, good dish. How long is it has to go?
Probably about 10 minutes more. Tops, yes.
Why don't you try? Tell me what you think. What's happened with your finger anyway? This is the pressure of a professional kitchen, right? That's, you're feeling the pressure,
Yes, now I
Are you okay?
Yes, I'm fine. It's
Sorry,
only
is the
okay.
finger there or is it in here?
No, it's still there.
Tell me what you think. I'm curious to know, what do you think about the spicy? Because we probably can have a completely different palate.
To me, it's mild.
You're gonna make me look like a wimp when you say that now. What do you mean to you is mild? It's spicy. Jay, Are you ready?
Not quite, no.
What do you mean not quite? The service is starting very soon.
I know, but you know.
What do you mean you know?
The pastry was too short.
The pastry was too short. So we got a bit of a panic situation right now.
We have, yes.
And you got a panic situation 5 minutes before we're actually going to start service.
Right. I'm doing
That's
my best.
not a good start, is it? That's not a good start.
And Charlene has worse news.
I'm okay.
What is your bread? Is this your bread?
No, this is a substitute just for now for you to try it because the rest it's going to take 8 minutes and it'll be out of the oven and I can plate up. I'll be really quick.
So you're going to give me something that actually you're not going to serve to the diners?
It's just a few more minutes and it'll be ready.
At the beginning, you told me that everything was under control. I've been telling you, are you sure you look too cold? See what's happening in a professional kitchen? All of a sudden, we have to deliver.
I know.
Okay? So you're gonna serve me my one and a different bread, the one that you haven't made, and then you're gonna be ready for service.
Yes.
Promise.
I promise you.
Promise.
Promise. Thank you.
Finally, it's lunchtime, and whether our cooks are ready or not, the paying diners are led into the restaurant.
Good afternoon, please come through.
It's a great turnout. Over 60 discerning diners have all come to sample these home-cooked dishes.
I think the curry sounds the best to me.
The harvest pie, the egg bacon and tomato pie.
I thought the Durban bunny chow might be a bunny rabbit, but obviously it's not. So further looking down, it looks amazing, the menu.
With service about to start, it's now up to Gino to take on the role of head chef, ensuring everything going out of the kitchen is not only cooked properly, but also beautifully presented. So before anybody orders, Gino needs to put each dish to the taste test. First up, it's Ray's Sunday feast.
What do you think? What does it look like? You happy?
It's good. It's amazing good. I like the combination of different flavors and the colors, yeah. Let's try how it looks here.
That's all right. To be honest with you, I'm expecting this one to be a little bit more seasoning. Chicken, look, I like the dish, the way it's presented, it's different. Yeah. I like the way it's presented, right? What I would do straight away is to season the bottom part. I personally think that this is bland. You know what I would do is to get some grated cheese, put it on top. Okay, so at least we have a little bit of a crusty cheese on top, and then when you go there, it's not going to be bland.
Next is Jane's harvest pie.
See, this one is a beautiful little dish, is it? It's nice, colorful. The only problem is, I don't know, I have no idea if it's a starter, or it's a main course, or it's a brunch, but it looks great. Chef, tell me, what do you think?
I think
the egg is perfect.
That's perfect. I think the terms of presentation, she's using too small plate.
You reckon?
Yeah. And you know, as a main course, you can have as a main course, but bigger plate, bigger salad.
Yeah.
Let's see what it says.
Fantastic.
And finally, Charlene's bunny chow.
This is not the bread that Charlene is going to serve to the others, because her bread is not ready.
The bread is still in the oven.
Bread is still in the oven. I mean, the idea, I like the idea. I'm just worried if they're going to get it. If the punters are there, they're going to get it. Oh,
there's 3 dishes.
Fantastic.
The pie and
the flavor is very good, very good.
It's a pretty dish to do.
I like the combination a lot.
Oh, no.
I'm not too sure about the presentation.
It's the bread, is it?
Yeah.
Charlene, come here. Don't look scared, baby. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
The curry is really good. Thanks. And the potato helped the fact that it was a bit too spicy at the beginning. We love the carrots. The thing I'm not sure is the bread. I hope that the bread that you baked is going to look better than this.
I'm sure it will.
Yeah? Make sure that the bread is done and make sure that it looks better than this.
Okay,
but the dish is amazing.
Thank you.
Absolutely amazing.
Thank you very much.
Well done. Well done.
Thank you.
The dishes have passed Gino's taste test. By the end of lunch service, Gino will award one dish the honour of being on this restaurant's menu for 1 month. His decision will look at 3 main criteria: cost of ingredients, preparation time in the kitchen, and the reaction of the diners. Back in the kitchen, service is just minutes away.
Okay, this is how it's going to work. Service is going to be a bit stressful. The order they come in, I will call the orders, okay? The only thing you have to do is to say, yes, chef. Because I must understand that you understood my order. If you don't respond to me, I will know. Okay. I don't know if you got it or if you heard me or anything like that. So whenever I shout something, yes, chef, or yes, Gino, whatever you want, as far that you reply when I shout the orders. Okay? They're gonna come fast and furious. So don't panic. Breathe. I want you to still remember when you go home and you make it for your own family, it's exactly the same thing. You're just going to make it for other people. So let's not lose the experience. Let's not lose the emotion. I want the emotion on a plate, okay, for this customer outside. Yes?
Yes, chef. Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Are we understood each other?
Yes, chef.
Come on!
I'll go for the first one, please. The Trinidadian Sunday.
Okay, can I have one harvest pie and one Sunday feast?
Yes, chef.
Okay, can I have one more Sunday feast and one bunny chow?
It's a bit hot, but it's fine.
I was a bit worried at one point, but no, now it's all coming together.
The pressure is a lot more stressful than I thought it would be. Yes, chef.
Let's make sure that it's all nice and clean. Beautiful.
With the dishes all looking the part, Gino allows them out of the kitchen to the hungry diners.
Superb. The bunny chow?
Lovely, thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Well, already I can tell it's been cooked with love. It's really nice. It is. It's just lovely and slow cooked. Really nice, subtle flavours, but loads of different flavours. Very nice.
It's just got a real kick to it. Really like perfect spice, isn't it?
Very nice indeed. Couldn't argue with that at all.
Can I have one harvest pie? I need 4 more Sunday feasts. Come on with the bunny chow. Come on, make 3 or 4, one after the other. Ray, it looks a bit too cool. And you know where the problem is? When you're too cool in the kitchen, everything can go absolutely wrong. I need a Sunday feast. I need a Sunday feast and I need it now. Jane, look at that. Nice, relax. She doesn't say much. We have Charlene on the other side. She's already cut her finger. Can she pull it? Are you happy?
I'm scared of you.
No, you don't. What do you mean you're scared of me? You shouldn't be scared of me. No, I wanted to. The reason why I shouted because I wanted to make sure that your dish is perfect. And everybody's dish, but look, they need to be hot, they need to be perfect. And I want them to understand the reason behind the dish. Good man, good man, good man, good man, good man. Hurry up. I think so far it's going quite well, actually. They're loving the Sunday feast. Absolutely loving the Sunday feast.
Whilst things are going well in the kitchen, the same can't be said in the dining room.
I really can't eat any more bread than this is just bread and 3 pieces of lamb fighting together in some curry sauce.
You know, the gentleman on 44 would like to change this because he's not happy with the dish. He said he had toast this morning for breakfast.
He or she? He had toast this morning, so he really didn't understand the dish at all then. Let's go to see. Let's go to see.
As head chef, it's up to Gino to look after the customers and maintain the restaurant's reputation.
You know, this recipe that you just sent back is been in a very beautiful lady in my kitchen. Okay. Over 100 years in her family. Right? In the old days, her grandmother used to put the curry into the bread. So when they used to go to work in South Africa, instead of having plates, they used to carry the bread with the curry inside. So the story is amazing. The story is amazing. And actually, I tried the curry, it's very beautiful. I understand that you had bread. Yes. Okay, I'm going to change it for you. I'm going to change it for you. Which one you want, that?
Yes, this one.
I'll bring you one down straight away. I just want to make sure that you understood the reason of the bread. That's why we did that.
The story is amazing.
The story is great, you see?
If I had met the grandma, I tell you, I would have eaten.
I tell you, if you would have met the grandma, she would have been a kick your.
But there are still plenty of other diners who are dying to try her bunny chow. Gino heads back to the kitchen to see how the chefs are getting on without him.
Can I have one extra Sunday feast, please? Can I have one pie quickly?
Yes, chef.
Ray, I need yours one quicker.
Not too much, not too much.
There you go. Ray, do you remember at the beginning when I told you, are you sure your dish is not too complicated for all these people? And you say, Gino, don't worry about it? Yeah? Should I start to worry?
No, you shouldn't.
Okay. More bunny chow. Come on. Oh, we are nearly at the end of the service, and it's looking quite cool because all the dishes are quite pretty. And Ray is not smiling anymore. Smile. Smile. Remember, happy chef, good food. Smile.
Get out of my way.
Back in the restaurants, the diners are ready to offer up their opinions on the food.
I ordered the Grandma's Trinidadian Sunday lunch and it was really beautiful. I loved it.
Absolutely loved the harvest pie. Tasty, it was light as well. Didn't feel too full up after it.
The lamb was really comforting and reminded me of home cooking, of my grand's curry. You know, it was lovely.
Okay, service. Table number 44 is 5 of them. One more pie quickly. Can I have one bun chow? Come on, bring them. Do more and bring them here. Service.
Service is nearly over and the cooks are all hoping Gino will choose their dish as the winner.
All 3 have been absolutely fantastic, but which one is going to make it on the menu? I want the emotion on a plate.
Chef Gino DiCampo's on a mission to prove there's no taste like home.
Happy chef, good food.
He's found 3 home cooks with 3 historic family recipes. Together, they've taken over a restaurant in Knightsbridge, London. It's a full house, and as a result, the orders are coming through thick and fast.
The pressure is a lot more stressful than I thought it would be. Yes, chef.
Our 3 home cooks have risen to the challenge.
Okay, guys, 2 more tables, okay? So we are nearly there. Is everybody still awake?
Yes, chef.
Very good. One more pie. Hit me, baby, one more pie. One more pie. One more pie.
2 seconds, chef.
Beautiful. And the pie is not bad as well. I'm gonna try this macaroni cheese, by the way.
We have no more.
What do you mean, you have no more? Oh. Did I not tell you that it tastes much better?
Okay, you're a genius. That's what you want to hear?
Oh, I'm Italian, I know about pasta.
Service is almost done and the cooks are all hoping Gino will choose their dish as the winner and secure a place on the restaurant's menu for 1 month.
Okay, guys, we're done. Well done. Well done. Well done. Well done. So how do you feel? Tell me how do you feel? How do you feel?
Very, very good.
Yeah? Do you think it went well?
Yes.
Your family are going to be so proud. They're going to be so proud. So proud, but thank you very much. Now it's time to washing up.
It's a shame that my grandmother isn't alive to
She's watching.
She's watching.
She's watching. Trust me, she's watching, and everybody's watching.
Yeah.
Come on, washing up.
Okay.
Don't think that I'm gonna clean after you. Everybody cleans. Don't look at me like that. Washing up. Washing up.
Service is over and our cooks have done all they can to try and secure their dish a place on the restaurant's menu for a month. It's now up to the diners, the restaurant manager Francesco and Jonas, the executive head chef, to help Gino make his difficult decision.
The Trinidadian Sunday feast was home cooking rather than restaurant cooking, I'd say. But there was a very nice combination of flavours.
Well, I had the bunny chow and I thought it was absolutely delicious. For me, it was the bread that did it. I am not a rice lover, but the bread. In fact, I was still eating when they came to clear the plates away.
I had the harvest pie. The egg and bacon that was in it was lovely. The pastry was superb. I'm not a big salad fan, but I actually ate the salad as well, so whatever they drizzled on the salad was superb. I just thought it was, I would eat it again.
Well, the diners seem to have enjoyed them, but which dish will Gino pick? Will it be Jane Colebrook with her traditional egg and bacon pie that conjures up memories of a Hertfordshire harvest over 50 years ago?
It would just be wonderful to think that this recipe that's been going for so long can still exist all these years later in its simplicity. It would mean everything to me.
Or Ray Mahabir with his Trinidadian Sunday feast made up of 3 delicious elements dating back over 200 years.
It's about my Trinidad culture. I'll be very proud to know that my dish is on the menu in a place like this.
Or can Charlene Moodley win with her Durban bunny chow, a curry that crossed 2 continents over 150 years ago to become one of South Africa's favourite foods? Gino welcomes the cooks into the restaurant for them to find out which heritage dish will win a place on the menu.
Well done, guys. Well done. Well done. I have to say, it's been a tough day, but it's been amazing. Did you enjoy the experience?
Wonderful, wonderful. Loved it.
Do you think you want to do it again?
I'd love to do it again.
Yeah? What about you? What do you think?
Fun. I don't know if I do it again, though.
Why not? Why not?
I'll try.
Because it's tiring, is it? To be in a professional kitchen is very different to be in
No,
your
because you were
home.
yelling at me.
I wasn't yelling. I was trying to pour... I wasn't yelling. I wasn't yelling. Don't tell them that. No, I wasn't. I was trying to pour my, you know, my point across. What about you, Ray? Was I yelling?
You did yell.
Oh, come on. I wanted to make sure that your food was perfect to go to these ladies and gentlemen here. That's the only thing I was trying to do, okay?
Thank you.
Now, of course, you all did very well, but there is only the place for one winner. One winner who's gonna have the dish on this London restaurant for 1 month. I have to say, it hasn't been easy this time because I loved all the dishes. Your curry, the flavor, amazing. Your tart, it was incredible, well presented, simple but good flavor. Your chicken had everything, all the color, all those combined flavor was very good. But we only have the place for one winner. And the winner of today, There's No Taste Like Home, is... Jane Harvest Pie.
Oh my God.
Congratulations, you are the winner.
Thank
well
you.
Done.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well done.
I feel absolutely ecstatic. I feel fantastic. I had no idea. I really didn't think I would be the winner.
I'm glad I had the opportunity to actually cook in this restaurant and to bring Trinidadian food into a place like this and give people probably who never had the opportunity to have this sort of food. At least they had a chance, and I'm really proud and I'm really glad that I did it.
I'm really happy for Jane. I think she did so well and she really deserved it. She put a lot of effort into it and I think it's a very good job done.
What an amazing result for Jane. But don't forget to join me next time when I'm going to meet 3 more very talented home cooks where they're going to prove that one more time, there's no taste like home. Now, if you want to try the winning dish yourself, or perhaps you want the details of the recipes featured on today's show, the only thing you're going to have to do is to go to itv.com/food.
Every day on There's No Taste Like Home, Chef Gino DiCampo will take 3 family cooks and the recipes that have been passed down through their families from generation to generation, out of the home and into a professional kitchen.
Come on, let's get cooking.
Together, they'll serve up their treasured dishes to paying customers, and the winning dish, judged by Gino, will be added to the restaurant's menu for a month.
Remember, this is your great-grandmother's recipes
to prove
that there is no taste like home.
On today's show, one family's unique version of shepherd's pie that's had an extra ingredient added to it with each generation.
My nan's recipe was with lamb, then she added the beef, and then I added the pork.
A delicious recipe for meatballs that has a truly worldwide heritage.
This is a recipe that has crossed many generations, several continents, from Italy to New York to England.
And a stunning fish dish that originated from a traditional Vietnamese fishing village nearly 200 years ago.
Because I come from a fishing village back in Vietnam called Phan Thich. It's
Funky.
Phan Thich.
Unfunky. Okay, unfunky.
Very funky.
Hello, I'm Gino DiCampo, and today on There's No Taste Like Home, I'll be uncovering 3 secret family recipes from 3 home cooks. I'm in the home of Jelly Hills, Pie and Mash, and Bubbling Squeak. Yes, Cor Blimey Governor, I'm in London town! Over 150 years ago, here in Durban, Londoners used to come to buy their fruit and veg in the very famous Fleet Market. It was a long time ago, but amazingly, some of the recipes featured on today's show, they were being cooked at around the same time. But now, back in the 21st century, they will be cooked and served in this amazing London restaurant.
Let's meet today's cooks. Lauren Pecorino is making the Pecorino family meatballs. Anna Chow is making Vietnamese caramelised clay pot salmon. And Scott Mallion is making the Starr family's 3-meat shepherd's pie.
Okay, guys, welcome to a professional kitchen. How do you feel?
Good.
It's cool, is it?
It's great.
I mean, it's a little bit small. This is a typical London restaurant kitchen. It's small, it's compact, it's gonna get really, really hot. Are you excited?
Sure.
Are you looking forward?
Yeah.
So, get back to your station and let's get cooking, okay?
Let's find out how our first cook makes her dish at home. Lauren Pecorino is a 48-year-old university lecturer originally from New York, but who now lives in Hampstead, London. She brought with her a taste of home with a family recipe for meatballs that was first cooked by her Italian ancestors over 100 years ago. In the 1930s, Lauren's grandmother left Italy for the bright lights of New York, taking the recipe with her.
This recipe I have in front of me is actually my mom's recipe, which she hand wrote on the back of a card that says, "Thinking of you." The recipe is kept close by so that it reminds me of home and also so I don't forget any major ingredients. To cut a small white onion, 1 clove of garlic, finely chopped, fresh parsley. This meat is ground beef, ground pork, and ground veal. I'm next going to grate some Pecorino Romano cheese. My surname is Pecorino, so it's one of my favorite cheeses. The egg helps bind all the ingredients. The next thing I'm going to add is the special ingredients, which is some Californian raisins and some pine nuts. There's a story behind adding pine nuts that I remember from my childhood, and that is my grandmother only put a few pine nuts in the meatballs, and we had almost a competition, me and my cousins, trying to find the most in our meatballs, and so there was a little bit of competition there. It was a lot of fun. So now I'm going to shape the meatballs, fry them gently until they're golden brown. So I'm just going to prepare a quick spaghetti sauce. Add a clove of garlic, 2 cans of chopped tomato, 1 leaf of fresh basil, 1 bay leaf. I have a wooden fork from my grandmother, and I have a wooden spoon from my mom. And the wooden spoon I use to turn the spaghetti sauce. Next, I'm going to add the browned meatballs into the sauce, and they'll slowly cook in the sauce for about an hour. Today I'm using the farfalle, but of course any of the other spaghettis would work as well. Once the pasta has been boiled and drained, then top your pasta with some spaghetti sauce, and the dish is ready to be served.
That's the Pecorino family meatballs served with farfalle pasta, a delicious dish with Italian origins. No wonder Gino wants to find out more.
Tell me a little bit about the recipe, because meatball, I love meatball.
I think foods that you cook with your hands are a symbol of love, and so I think meatballs are always about the family and the love that you had with your family. My grandmother learned this recipe from her stepmother, so this originates outside of Naples. My grandmother left Naples to come to America in the 30s. And there she brought the recipe, and she's made this dish every Sunday for the family. We used to always go there on a Sunday, and she taught my mother, obviously, and it's been passed down to me. And all my cousins cook the same meatballs on a Sunday. The last time I went home, my grandmother was making homemade gnocchi with her hands.
She said, sometimes the ship is not good. You have to fix your sauce.
Okay, go ahead, roll. Do a roll. My grandmother will be 99 years old this year, and she's still cooking her meatballs.
And she's still doing meatball.
This is a recipe that has really crossed many generations, several continents, from Italy to New York to England.
Okay.
And also cultures, because now I'm cooking it here in Britain.
What would it mean to you to win today and have this beautiful pasta with meatball, to go on a restaurant menu for a month?
I'm doing it in honor of my grandmother, that she's going to be 99 years old and still making the meatballs, so it would be an honor for her.
Now, Lauren, this is what we do in professional restaurant, okay? Now, cook your pasta, salt in boiling water until very al dente, okay? You really want to get, look at that, still it's kind of half the way through, okay? Once you are at this stage, what you do, drain it, put it onto a large tray, like this, okay? You want to put a little bit of olive oil on top.
Okay. Yeah.
So what you do, once you've done that,
Yeah.
give it a good shake so the pasta is all beautiful and oiled all over, so it doesn't get all sticky. And then what you do, find a cool place, don't rinse it under cold water. This is a mistake that a lot of people do. They put under cold water, what's gonna happen? All the starch into the pasta goes away and the pasta gets soggy. Just leave it like that to naturally cool it down by itself, and then just before you use it, put it into a basket or put it back in hot boiling water, 30 seconds, pasta is done. Okay?
Fantastic.
That's how you do it.
Lauren turns her attention back to prepping ingredients. Her main concern, like all our cooks, is can she make a home dish work in a professional kitchen?
Well, I'm hoping that my meatballs come as good as they do when I'm at home. I am busy chopping at the moment, so this is a preparation stage, and looking forward to the next step.
Welcome back to That's Not Taste Like Home. Today, I'm in Central London, where I found 3 home-cooked dishes with plenty of history, and 3 cooks desperate to show them off. Who's gonna be next to share their favorite family dish?
Our second cook is 29-year-old Scott Mallion, a marketing manager from Richmond, London. His home-cooked recipe is the Starr family 3-meat shepherd's pie, which has taken 3 generations to perfect and unusually is made with 3 types of meat. Scott first cooked this dish aged 15 with his mother, but the recipe originates from County Cork in Ireland, where Scott's nan first concocted the dish using basic ingredients.
I'm using 3 different types of meat. I'm using minced pork, which is my addition, because it adds a nice texture, and as long as I keep it quite chunky, it's really pleasant to eat. The lamb has loads of flavour, and again, it's quite light in style. The beef is there for the intensity. I need to finely dice some carrots, some white onions, and some celery. Quick stir. Okay, now that they've sweated off, I'm going to turn the heat up a notch so I can get my meat in. So I just need to brown the meat off now. In the past, it was expensive to get 3 meats, and to some extent it still is, but because this is how my nan did it, so I wouldn't want to try and deviate from that anyway. Every week, friends, family would come round to my nan's, to my mum's, to me now, and it's expected that I should do the shepherd's pie. So it's got a lot of history, a lot of heritage, a lot of fond memories, memories from when I was a kid. I always loved coming round to my nan's for a nice shepherd's pie, or indeed I'd go round to my mum's house and she'd cook it, and I'd always know it would be spot on and it would be something I'd build up to towards the end of the week. And now I need to add the rest of my ingredients, which is tinned tomatoes. I use smoked paprika because it has a wonderful smoky sweetness and it has a real kind of different dimension to the finished dish. Now I need to add in 2 whole Starr anise to give that real aniseedy depth of flavour. Some people might find it a bit exotic to add the Starr anise, but it's all down to personal taste, and this is the way I like to do it. So that's all in. I've got 1 more ingredient to add, which is my dried herb mix. 2 good pinches you want. And then give that 1 final stir. Okay, now I need to leave that and cover it for 40 minutes to an hour on a medium heat and let it do its thing. Oh, cushy. Okay, now I need to make up the mashed potato filling using the ingredients I've got here, which I have some sweet and tangy cheddar. My own little take is the parmesan, which gives an extra nutty kind of flavour. My nan, and then down to my mum, was never made mash in the same way. Mashed potato full stop consisted of this kind of thing. It wasn't just mashed potato, as it were. So adding these kinds of things and these different flavours, textures, all add to it, and all something that I've just continued to do. And that is it. The mashed potato topping is good to go. We don't want to be neat on this one. A preheated oven at 200 degrees, straight in, middle shelf. And that will cook away nicely now for 15 to 20 minutes until it goes nice and crisp on top. Oh, look at that. And here it is, the Starr family 3-meat shepherd's pie.
That's Scott's delicious version of the humble shepherd's pie. Now Gino wants to find out more about its Celtic heritage.
Tell me about this dish. How long has it been in your family?
3 generations, so 50, 60 years.
3 generations, your grandmother?
My grandmother recipe. And then my mother started cooking it, and now obviously me. The shepherd's pie has been around since the 18th century, traditionally in England and Scotland. And so obviously now my nan being Irish, it's a bit of everything, so it's a tri-national dish. She was born and raised in County Cork. It was something that she cooked every now and then just for something to have. Then everyone she cooked it for started to think, oh, this is really good, this is really good. So instead of the typical Sunday roast, she would do the shepherd's pie. And then my mum did the same thing, adding the one more ingredient.
Which is?
The beef. My nan's recipe was with lamb, quite traditional. Then she added the beef, so it became 2 meats. And then I added the pork.
You had the pork? Yeah. How old were you when you started to get involved with this recipe?
I was about 13, 14 when I started to get involved.
13, 14?
I'd had lots of memories younger than that, eating it and enjoying it. It just takes me back to my childhood and food being about fun and sitting there with the family, eating big, wholesome food. And so I get that every time I cook it and every time I eat it. This actually was one of the first dishes that I started to cook, and this started my whole kind of love affair with cooking. This was the first dish that I did and started to do successfully, and this opened up my eyes to the world of home cooking. I'm the only one out of the grandkids that actually knows how to make it and currently makes it. Yeah.
Why is that?
I have no idea. I think people they may be quite scared to touch a historical dish.
Tell me something. What would it mean to you to win today?
I mean, it'd be amazing just to do my nan and my mum proud more than anything else, because it's been in the family for so long, so much history and heritage with it. I think it just, for me personally, it'd be a great achievement, but more so it's just to make my nan and my mum proud.
Okay, Scott, the perfect mashed potato. Okay. First of all, you put a little bit of salt for seasoning.
Yeah.
A little bit of white pepper.
Okay.
I don't use black pepper because otherwise you see all those black bits in the mashed potato. White pepper is absolutely fantastic for mashed potato. And then, of course, butter. Butter is important. I like to put butter when it's melted already. Okay? So loads of butter goes in there. And you just work the butter slowly, slowly into the mashed potato. And this is going to give you a beautiful shine to the potato, and nice and smooth, no lumps. So mix everything together. Then if you go milk, you can use cream. To be honest with you, I think then it's a bit too heavy. I use milk. Full fat milk goes in there. And again, work the milk into the potato slowly, slowly. So it absorbs and it becomes all beautiful and moist and soft. Now this is the perfect way when you do sausage and mash, or when you want to serve the mashed potato on the side of a dish. Can you see that?
Yeah, lovely.
Beautiful, smooth, look at that, shiny. Now, if you want to use this one for a topping, it's not going to work. I'll tell you why it's not going to work, especially with your shepherd's pie, because this is too creamy. It will soak in. So what you have to do, whenever you do a mashed potato for topping, keep it a little bit drier, a little bit firmer, and then it's absolutely perfect.
Job done.
Okay?
Scott gets to work preparing the ingredients for his shepherd's pie filling. With only 3 hours until service, the pressure is on as our home cooks busily prepare their beloved family dishes for the first time in a professional kitchen. Each cook is hoping that Gino will pick their dish to take pride of place on this restaurant's menu for a month. On the menu today, Lauren's Pecorino family meatballs and Scott's Starr family 3-meat shepherd's pie.
Okay guys, our menu is almost completed. 2 fantastic home-cooked recipes done, 1 more to go.
Our final cook is Anna Chow, a 31-year-old pharmacist who lives with husband Derek in East London. Her family dish is called gakko dio, otherwise known as caramelised clay pot salmon. This recipe has been passed down through 4 generations, remaining unchanged for nearly 200 years. It originated from a small fishing village outside Ho Chi Minh City.
So traditionally I come from a fishing village. Usually they use catfish, but obviously catfish isn't widely available in the supermarket. So my mum tended to bought salmon, so that's why we're using today. I think it's just one of those family things. However you would do it, there's always variations. So, but this is how my mum used to do it. So obviously I'm sharing that with everyone here today. It's kind of a dish whenever I'm homesick. I would make this. It's quite an easy dish and it's also obviously quite cheap as well. So quite often it's a dish that most Vietnamese families would cook anyways. I'm just going to start cutting the fish into cubes. So the marinade's very simple. It's only a few ingredients. 1 tablespoon, regular tablespoon of sugar. I think I'll grab the garlic now. So all the garlic that we've crushed. We want 2 tablespoons of the fish sauce and then 1 tablespoon of sunflower oil. I usually leave it for 15 minutes because I'm usually in a hurry. The longer you leave the marinade, the better. Whoops. So we just let that sit there for 15 minutes and while that's marinating, I'm just going to cook the rice. Add enough water so that it comes up to about here on the finger. Okay, so now we've got all the ingredients ready. I'm going to start making the caramel sauce. Clay pot is great because it actually kind of imparts a nice earthy sort of flavour to the dish. Say about a tablespoon of oil, that just goes in. I'm using brown sugar. 2 generous spoonfuls here, a tablespoon. Obviously you don't want the caramel sauce to burn because obviously it's going to destroy the taste of the dish. And so I just add the whole lot in. And the moment you put it in, you can smell the fish sauce, can't you? The village that I come from, we're actually famous for making the fish sauce. Us Vietnamese love our fish sauce. I'm going to add another 2 tablespoons. So now I'm just going to add some water. Basically, you want to add enough water to slightly cover the surface of this layer, this fish layer here. So all we need to do now is basically add some spring onions. I'm just going to add the black pepper, as much as you want. And basically you just let that simmer on a high heat because you want to reduce the sauce down. It takes about maybe 10-15 minutes. So all I'm going to do now is add some coriander. Obviously this is for garnish. Some spring onions. More pepper if you want. I think I'll add a little tiny bit more pepper. And as much chilli as you want. And that's the finished dish.
So that's Anna's caramelised clay pot salmon, a dish with a story as tasty as it looks.
Now, tell me a little bit about this dish, where it comes from, how long it's been in your family.
It goes back about 200 years or more. It's gone through 4 generations. It's travelled 10,000 miles from Vietnam to Australia to London, and it's a family favourite. The dish is actually caramelised salmon that's usually cooked in a classic clay pot, usually just served with rice. That's all you really need. It's come from my great-grandmother. It's probably gone back more generations before that. It went to Melbourne because my parents fled the war and we settled there. I'm from Melbourne, grew up and born there. My husband and I just recently moved to London a couple of years ago, so it's travelled basically...
So you went to Vietnam, to Australia, to London.
And then now to London. Salmon is a new addition, but basically originally it was cooked from basically any fish, because I come from a fishing village in Vietnam. That's where most of my family, that's my heritage of my family is from. Because I've moved to London, now and again I do get homesick and do miss my mum's home cooking. So whenever I am homesick, I do think about this dish. Just reminds me of how we would always have dinners together as a family. It would always be family time, like dinner time.
What would it mean to you to win today's show?
If it does win, I would love for people to have a taste of it because I'll be elated. Basically, I feel like I'm representing all my family right now.
Now, Anna, I'm going to show you a very simple tip, and of course you guys are home as well, okay? How to cook the perfect rice. Okay, just a pre-cooked long grain rice. Okay, what you want to do, the ratio is very simple. 1 cup of rice goes into a saucepan, like that. We are going to use 1 full cup of water, cold water, goes on top, and then another half cup. So 1.5 cup ratio of water to rice. Once you've done that, so at the moment what you have cold water and rice in a saucepan. We get a little bit of foil, or if you got a lid for the saucepan, that's absolutely right. You cover it, you put it on top of the heat, for 2 minutes. Then what you do, as soon as 2 minutes are gone, leave it on the side, another 10 minutes away from the heat, and this is how you get the perfect rice.
With only 2 hours until service, things are hotting up. The 3 home cooks are busy preparing their dishes, this time for a restaurant full of paying customers. Lauren is now mixing mince, egg and breadcrumbs for the meatballs, but she's still concerned whether her tried and tested formula will be a success.
The part of the dish that I'm a little worried about is the actual forming of the meatballs, making sure that they stay together.
Scott is about to fry off the vegetables for his shepherd's pie, which will now be topped with Gino's perfect mash, but he's anxious about bringing everything together.
I'm quite nervous about the final delivery because that's what it's all about. The most I've ever cooked before today is 10 people, so nothing like today. The delivery at the very end of it, that's the thing I'm most nervous about, like you would be.
And Anna is busy preparing the vegetables and spices for her dishes. However, she's fearful that a critical part of her recipe could end in disaster.
The prep stage is quite easy. I think if anything, I'm worried about the caramel sauce. I need to get the timing right because I don't want to really burn it.
Welcome back to Does Not Taste Like Home. Today I'm in Holborn in central London. Now before the break we heard about the history of 3 amazing recipes, but now it's time to cook them in this restaurant for paying customers. Let's remind ourselves what's for lunch today.
Lauren Pecorino is cooking her traditional family meatballs. This dish dates back to the early 1900s and has travelled all the way from Naples to New York and now London.
This recipe I have in front of me is actually my mom's recipe. It's kept close by so that it reminds me of home and also so I don't forget any major ingredients.
Scott Malyon is making his Starr family's 3-meat shepherd's pie, a dish spanning 3 generations and over 100 years.
Every week, friends, family would come round to my nan's, to my mum's, to me now, and it's expected that I should do the shepherd's pie.
And Anna Chow is making Vietnamese caramelised clay pot salmon, a recipe which has travelled over 10,000 miles in 200 years to become Anna's signature dish.
It's kind of a dish whenever I'm homesick. I would make this. I think it's just one of those family things. This is how my mum used to do it, so obviously I'm sharing that with everyone here today.
It's almost lunchtime, and as the waiting staff prepare the dining room, a queue of hungry diners has formed outside the restaurant, all eager to try our 3 home cooks' fantastic recipes. Let's hope that the food lives up to their expectations.
So let's go back to the kitchen and see how my home cooks are doing.
I think it's going okay. The heat is on. I think not having your own utensils and pots, that's just a little awkward.
It's pretty hectic, to be honest. It's such a last-minute dish. I'm second-guessing how things are going.
It's pretty stressful. There's a lot going on. Cooking this is a massive honour for me. My mum passed away a few years ago, so it's nice to really cook this and just do her proud, and hopefully she's looking down saying, well done.
So Lauren, don't forget what I told you about to make sure that they're nice and smooth. Have a look at my one, how smooth it is. Okay, and have a look at this one. I can see your finger in there, look.
Yes.
Can you see that?
Yes.
You have to remember at the end, after you've done all the pressing, okay, that you need to roll them to make them smooth. Right. Like this. I don't want to see your fingerprint, although it's actually quite a good idea to put fingerprints in your meatball. But I think for the paying customer, people that they're going to pay for this, right, they want to see a beautiful, smooth bowl. Look at that.
Beautiful.
Now it's better, okay?
Great, thank you.
Where are we?
Right, so I've just added in the last of the stock cubes, crumbling that in. Now I need to add the Starr anise and the smoked paprika.
Starr anise?
Yeah.
And smoked paprika into shepherd's pie.
Indeed.
Now tell me a little bit more about that.
Well, this was my personal touch. I love smoked paprika, generally, and I love Starr anise. I love the aniseed, that whole kind of fragrance to it. So I thought, I wonder if this will work in a shepherd's pie.
And it does?
It does, yeah, with a bit of hesitance to start with. I thought it takes a bit of getting used to, but all the essentials are there. It's just that my little touch to it. I think people really go for, yeah.
Carry on with your little touch. We'll see at the end when I taste it.
Thanks, Gino.
How are you?
Very good.
Yeah? You look a little bit stressed. What's happened?
Well, it's all last-minute preparations, really.
The last-minute preparation. You know that we're going to have to start to serve in about half an hour.
I
Have you got,
understand.
this is the marinade?
That's a marinade.
How long does it have to be marinade for?
Technically, the longer the better, but obviously due to time constraints, I've got 15 minutes.
15 minutes. So you put it there, it's gonna soak all these flavors.
That's right.
All right, it smells absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
Are you still all nice and calm?
Yeah,
Are you
always.
feeling the heat in your back here? So?
I don't mind it. I come from Australia, so
So
it gets hotter.
you're used to the hot.
Yeah.
Well, it's gonna get hotter. It's gonna get hotter, I promise you
Sure it
that.
will.
Despite the pressure in the kitchen, it's time for lunch, and whether the cooks are ready or not, the restaurant doors are finally opened. With such a fabulous array of dishes, the customers will have a difficult choice to make, so our 3 home cooks will really have to impress them.
We're having some wine today.
In 15 minutes, I'm gonna start the service. People up there are coming in slowly, so we're gonna start in 15 minutes. Before we do that, what I need from you is a final finished dish. For me, I want to see how you're gonna present it, and I want to taste it. Okay? So you have about 1 or 2 minutes maximum. So get in there and get me a dish.
By the end of lunch service, Gino will award one dish the honour of being on this restaurant's menu for a month. His decision will look at 3 main criteria: cost of ingredients, preparation time in the kitchen, and the reaction of the diners. As the home cooks prepare for Gino's taste test, upstairs some very special customers have arrived.
It's very nice to know that Scott's sort of looking to do this kind of thing, and we're very proud of him, the fact that he's been chosen to cook the meal that's so dear to him, really. It means quite a lot. I mean, it's sort of from his mother's side, because it's one of those traditional things, and we're very much a traditional family. So to have traditional meals cooked is very pleasurable.
You know, it's a tremendous achievement to have got this far. And for her dish to come, you know, for 100 years and now be in a little English restaurant, having come from Sicily, now in New York, it's terrific.
First to take the taste test is Lauren's Pecorino family meatballs.
Okay, nice. It looks beautiful. I like the 2 big meatballs. I like that. I can see why this dish is a popular dish in your family. Pasta is nice and al dente. Meatball. For a meatball. Ah, that's a good meatball.
Next, it's Scott's Starr family 3-meat shepherd's pie.
It looks beautiful. Can you see what's happening here all around?
Yeah.
Absolutely spot on. Because what I don't want is the sauce to go over the mashed potato. What did you put in the mashed potato?
There was tangy cheddar cheese, some parmesan, and some chopped spring onions.
Chopped spring onions. I'll tell you something, the parmesan, the cheddar, the spring onions, it comes through beautifully.
Oh, good, thank you.
I think the presentation is excellent.
Thank you
well
very
done.
much.
Well done. Good dish, man. Good dish.
And finally, it's Anna's turn with her Vietnamese caramelised clay pot salmon.
Anna, look at that.
I do my best.
That looks beautiful. That
Thank you.
looks absolutely beautiful. I'll give you that. Now, the fish you made, have you tried it?
No, I haven't.
No? Remember the secret of a good cook, what it is to make sure that you always try the food before you serve it. If it's not good enough for you, it's not good enough for paying customer, okay? So make sure that you try. The salmon is cooked to perfection, I have to say.
Thank you.
Oh, wow. Wow. Have you guys tried this?
No, not yet.
Wow.
I haven't even tried it.
I'll tell you something. The caramelized sugar comes through, fish sauce comes through. It's very, very pretty.
Thank you.
It's fantastic.
Well, I'm going to be having the salmon today because it's different to what I would normally go for.
Yeah, I'll get meatballs, you get salmon.
I was going to go for the meatballs, but I thought, no, I'm going to try the fish today.
I had a difficulty deciding between the fish and the shepherd's pie.
With all 3 dishes making the grade, Gino allows service to begin.
Thank you very much indeed. This is how it works. I call the orders. Whenever I call the orders, I want to hear yes, chef, or yes, Gino, whatever you want. I need to understand that you understood my order, okay? If you don't answer back, then I will ask the order again until you answer me back. Otherwise, I don't know if you got it.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
Everybody clear?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes, chef. Yes,
Fantastic. Okay, guys, listen to me. Table number 2, 1 salmon, 1 shepherd's pie.
Yes, chef.
Remember, guys, this is a celebration of home cooking. So put your heart in it, and let's make sure that everybody understands how much feeling there is in these recipes, okay?
Yes, chef.
All right, rock and roll. How long for the salmon?
Another minute.
Lauren, you're having a break down there. You all right?
I think it's going okay. The heat is on. The orders are coming in faster and faster.
This is going to be a very messy dish.
Okay.
What we do, get a meatball, and they're going to go on top. You put a little bit of cheese on top, so all the dishes are going to look all the same. Look at that.
Beautiful.
Nice?
Thank you.
The pasta, I loved it. I love the way the two big meatball with pecorino cheese on top and the basil. That is going well. And Scott, really a masterpiece of a shepherd's pie. Looks great, impressive, rustic, home cooking at its best.
It's going pretty well so far, yeah, it's pretty stressful, there's a lot going on. Thankfully my dish doesn't need too much finishing touches to it.
Unlike Scott and Lauren, Anna's recipe requires her to make each dish to order, so service for her is a real challenge.
Have you got more salmons on the go?
I've got 2 more coming up,
Two
right?
more. I need 2, and I need another 2 after
and
that.
another 2 after
yeah,
this.
so 4 in total.
Okay.
Okay, guys?
They have been coming through fast, and hopefully I've also got the hang of it as well, so yeah.
Finally, Gino is happy and allows the dishes to make their way out of the kitchen and up to the paying diners.
Looks delicious. Looks extremely good.
And it's got a cheesy top, which is nice for a shepherd's pie.
Yeah.
Looks different, looks lovely, smells nice.
Listen to me, I need 3 more salmon,
Yes,
1
chef.
shepherd's pie, and 1 meatball. And remember, keep smiling. Happy cooks makes happy foods. Come on, 2 meatballs. Come on, 1 pasta right now. Salmon ready?
Coming up.
Would you serve it like that?
Need to wipe that dish.
You need to wipe that dish. I think something is burning in the back, Anna.
Lunch is well underway and our cooks are managing to keep up with the hectic pace of running service in a professional kitchen.
1 meatball, 1 salmon.
Yes, chef.
Very nice, full of flavour. Definitely recommend it.
I can't believe that it's like a homemade recipe because of all the flavours in it. You'd think it was just like brewed up now, but then to hear that it's been around for ages, it's just phenomenal. It's so good.
Well, I went for shepherd's pie because I thought, you know, you kind of know what you're getting with shepherd's pie, or you think you know what you're getting. So I thought I'll see what they can do differently with that. And I'm really surprised by how different the flavours are. It's really packed full of flavour, unlike any shepherd's pie I've had before. It's really, really tasty.
Anna's husband Derek has enjoyed the salmon many times before, but never in a chic London restaurant.
It feels like, yeah, I'm eating a Michelin star version of, of her dish. It's amazing to have it presented this way and just tasting this way, yeah. It's unbelievable.
Okay, guys, we are halfway through. How are we feeling?
Good.
Good. Yeah, everybody right? Yes. Anna, you happy?
Very happy.
Scott?
I'm happy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling the heat.
You're feeling the heat. It's getting hot, is it?
It's getting hot.
Oh, well, we haven't finished yet. And the worst is not over, guys. The worst is not over.
But for Scott, the worst is just about to happen.
Chef?
What's up?
Table 11.
Yeah?
Shepherd's pie is lovely, but could be more meaty. They had better.
They had better?
They had better.
Where?
Wow.
Where they had it better?
Well, probably in a pie restaurant.
In a pie restaurant. Where are these people? Let me talk to them. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Hello.
Everything okay?
Everything
Signora?
good, yes, thank you
What a
very much.
pleasure. How's your food so far?
It's not meaty enough.
Okay. It's got beef, it's got pork in there, okay, and it's got lamb. It's got 3 different meats. What he did, he put a little touch of smoked paprika.
Yes, that's what I
Okay,
would taste.
so you have a little bit of a kick. So it's not the usual classic one. I personally don't agree that it needs more meat.
Right.
Is anything else we can do for you? Do you want to try the pasta?
Right.
Okay, we got a deal. I'm going to bring you some pasta. Mwah. Ciao.
The diner is satisfied with the promise of Lauren's pasta, so Gino heads back to the kitchen to relay the news to Scott.
What happened to the shepherd's pie?
I think it's good, and I think it's got a beautiful paprika, which is your little touch, and that's what food is all about. The fact that you put your own touches in the recipe, I think is fantastic. But a customer up there, a lady, she said, well, this is not what a shepherd's pie is all about, because it's got the spiciness of the paprika, the star anise seed. She wanted more of a lamb flavor as well. Of course, you put pork in there, and you put a beef. Listen, in food, with food, you can never make everybody happy. There is always one who's gonna say, I wish I could have done it like this, or I wish I could have had it like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so don't worry about it.
No, that's
it's
fine.
a good dish, and I want more.
Chef,
how are we doing?
Very good.
Any more complaints?
No more complaints, chef. Only happy people.
Happy people, good.
Isn't it?
Guys, everything is going all right. Happy people upstairs. So keep up with the good work.
Service is nearly over for the 3 home cooks, and the food seems to be going down well with the diners.
You know what, my 3 cooks in the kitchen here, they worked so hard, and I'm so pleased for them because they really done their family proud. All 3 have been absolutely fantastic, but which one is gonna make it on the menu? Okay, guys, listen to me. Table number 2, 1 salmon, 1 shepherd's pie.
Chef Gino DiCampo is on a mission to prove there's no taste like home.
Are you enjoying yourself?
Yes, chef.
He's found 3 home cooks with 3 historic family recipes. Together, they've taken over a restaurant in central London. It's a full house, and as a result, the orders have come through thick and fast.
Very hot, very cramped, very small.
And our 3 home cooks have risen to the challenge.
Is that what you were expecting, or you were expecting a walk in the park?
Service is nearly over, and the cooks are all hoping Gino will choose their dish as the winner and secure a place on the restaurant's menu for a month.
Come on, guys, the last 2 orders, okay? Everybody with me?
Yes, chef.
Good.
3 shepherd's pies, chef.
All right, guys, the last table out of the way. All right, well done. Well done. Anna, how did you feel it gone?
Very good. I think I did my family proud.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Would you do it again?
Do you know I would? I've always loved a passion for cooking, and I've always had respect for chefs, so I think I could take the heat. Yeah.
Nice one, nice one. What about you, Scott?
No, really, really happy. I just hope that the paying customers enjoy it as much as I do and all my friends and family do. So, yeah, I'm really,
Of course they did, of course. And the pasta? Are you happy with those meatballs?
I am. I had a lot of fun, and I hope the customers were happy as well.
Of course they will, of course. Guys, you really, really done well today. So well done. Well done, well done, well done.
Service is finished, and our cooks have done all they can to secure their dish a place on the restaurant's menu for a month. It's now up to the diners, the restaurant's head chef, and the manager to help Gino make his difficult decision.
So, guys, what do we think about today's menu?
I ordered the 3-meat shepherd's pie. It's really nice. Very tasty. Smelt beautiful, actually, when I opened it up. Really nice.
Really good choice, the salmon. I'm really glad I chose it. It was between the meatballs and salmon. Good combination between the rice and the texture of the salmon and the flavours. Mwah, beautiful. Very nice indeed. Full compliments to the chef.
Pecorino meatballs, perfect. It just tastes wonderful. It reminds me of my mother, the way she used to cook it.
Well, they seem to have enjoyed them, but which dish will Gino pick? Will it be Lauren Pecorino's family meatballs, a fantastic pasta dish that originated in southern Italy, travelled to New York in the 30s, and is now lovingly cooked by Lauren at home in London?
I'm doing it in honor of my grandmother, that she's going to be 99 years old and still making the meatballs. So I think it would be an honor for her.
Or will it be Scott Malyon with his Starr family 3-meat shepherd's pie, a hearty dish first cooked by his nan in Ireland's County Cork over 70 years ago?
I mean, it'd be amazing just to do my nan and my mum proud more than anything else, because it's been in the family for so long, so much history and heritage with it. I think it just, for me personally, it'd be a great achievement, but more so it's just to make my nan and my mum proud, yeah.
Or Anna's 200-year-old caramelised clay pot salmon recipe, a dish first cooked by her ancestors in a tiny fishing village just outside Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam.
If it does win, I would love for people to have a taste of it because I'll be elated. Basically, I feel like I'm representing all my family.
So, guys, did you enjoy your food? Yeah! Good. Now, let me introduce you to the 3 home cooks. They're right here. Come on, guys, come in. How are you, man? You all right? Good, 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 good. Are you well? Fantastico. Fantastico. Come on, they're done. You guys have done a fantastic job, I have to say. The dishes looked great, and I can see that there was a lot of passion in there, a lot of soul, right? unfortunately, there can only be one winner. In my eyes, you are all winners because this recipe, they've been in your family for years and years and years. And to come here in a restaurant and serve all these lovely people, you have to consider yourself already winner, okay? And today's winner of There's No Taste Like Home is... Anna Salmon. Now tell me, how do you feel?
I'm so happy, like you wouldn't believe.
I'll tell you something, we had a lot of compliment for all the 3 dishes, but yours in particular one, because it was very light, well presented. And I have to say, I know that I gave you a hard time down in the kitchen, down there, okay? But it was all in a good intention, because I wanted to make sure that your dish... I wanted to make sure that your dish looked beautiful just the way you presented to me, and it tasted fantastic and really, really well done. You should be very proud, and all your family are going to be really proud of you. So thank you again. Thank you again. This is your plate. You are the winners of today. There's No Taste Like Home. Okay, so make sure you look after the plates. Yeah, that is yours. Enjoy.
Definitely, thank you. Wow, thank you everyone. It was all about sharing the dish that my grandmother and even generations before us. So it's kind of, you know, just representing the family really was more important.
I'm very happy for Anna. We had a lot of fun. I think her recipe was exquisitely presented, and I think she deserved to win. I think it was wonderful.
Very worthy winner. Her dish was superb, tasted beautiful. So I'm actually really happy with the outcome. It's the experience that makes it, I think, but more than happy with who won.
I'm really over the moon right now. I didn't really expect any of this, so yeah, speechless right now.
Well, congratulations to Hannah. The salmon dish was absolutely buonissimo. But don't forget to join me next time, where I'm going to find 3 more home cooks, and the only thing that they want to prove to you, that there's no taste like home. Now, if you want to try the winning dish yourself, or perhaps you want the details of the recipes featured on today's show, the only thing you're going to have to do is to go to itv.com/food.